episode 111, Checkpoint Chat 111.
Triple one.
Isn't that a my name's Alessandro Barbosa. I'm joined by Matty Figueroa. Sorry, before I dive into my tangent.
Yes, now you can dive into a tangent.
Isn't 111 like a special cricket thing? It's like when the score's on 111, you have to like lift your feet as like a superstition thing
or something.
Yeah, and then it's like they hit a 6 or something.
Is it both your feet or is it just you stand on one leg, for example? I think it's standing on one leg.
I'm checking now.
Oh, this is what a way to start the podcast. We're here with some cricket facts.
Oh,
cricket
it's called
myths.
a Nelson. Is it named after Nelson Mandela?
Willie Nelson. No, it's no, not after Willie Nelson.
Who's Willie Nelson?
He's like an American country singer, I think.
Oh, it's definitely not about him. The New
you
Zealand
don't know
cricket
that?
team Nelson played first-class cricket. So it's a New Zealand thing? I don't know. Umpire
team
David
called Nelson?
Shepherd, during a radio interview to mark his retirement, explained it as one arm, one eye, and one lump of sugar in his tea. What am I reading?
Just close that tab and let's forget about cricket because it's a garbage sport.
Oh my
joking.
God. Wow, this is a cool
Wow.
fact. On 11 November 2011, a test match between South Africa and Australia with the time at 11 past 11, and with South Africa requiring 111 runs to win, the majority of the crowd and umpire Ian Gould did Shepherd's leg raise Nelson for that minute, with the scoreboard reading 11, 11, 11, 11, 11.
Now that seems like that's made up. Did that actually
Yeah,
happen?
I don't know.
It seems like a
This is
weird
Wikipedia.
coincidence.
This seems like someone's cricket fan fiction.
That sounds highly unlikely, but you never know. Stranger things have
Never know.
happened.
I don't know. I just saw the number and I remember when I used to follow cricket, at least I don't really anymore. That used to be a thing.
Hit us with some Duckworth Lewis facts there, because that's the one part of cricket no one understands.
I do not understand. That's the like calculation they make when it rains, right?
If it rains, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that fucking thing.
It's
And
like
it seems like it's always like unfair. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's like my team's absolutely winning. Oh shit, it's raining.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
goddamn, we
Oh
lost
shit, it's
now.
raining. We lost. Yeah. Oh god, Duckwood Lewis. Fuck that duck.
Is it a rule made by a dude named Duckworth Lewis?
Do you want me to
Or is
Google
it
this again?
No, please. You're gonna get some weird fact like, yes, in 1935 on National Duckworth Lewis Day, a man in the audience ran onto the field
With the duck.
shed with the duck, and the team that was winning lost.
Yeah, threw the duck at the bowler, who then bowled and knocked
Wow.
out the batsman for a duck.
Oh my god! And therefore, that's why Duckworth Lewis. It's easy,
Yeah,
man.
and that's how
It's easy.
Duckworth Lewis was. Yeah, I don't know where that comes from. I just know. Well, I remember every match with that implemented. It always seemed incredibly unfair for one team or the
It was
other.
super unfair. It felt like, I don't know. There's some weird calculations.
It's almost like trying to calculate Fahrenheit from Celsius. It's not just this linear
just
graph.
doesn't make
It's-
sense,
Yeah,
no.
it just doesn't make sense. It's super dumb.
Stop
Speaking of
harassing me.
Fahrenheit, it's got cold again. I don't know. It was
It
so
is
warm.
so cold. This week was warm, man.
Yeah,
It's
until
like,
yesterday. Jesus.
Shit. I woke up this morning. I was like, I'm ready to podcast, but you need to tell me when you're online because I'm not getting out of bed until that moment.
Imagine you could podcast in bed. You get like a little microphone arm, and you
Lenska
just.
would be so mad.
Oh, yeah, Lenska would not be happy.
Welcome to episode 111. She's like, why? Why are you like this?
Why? Why? This is horrible. Why?
It's
I
only 8
must
o'clock.
say,
I'm trying to
I must
sleep.
say, Lenska might be mad. I'm mad because I don't even wake up this early for work, and we're recording on
really?
a Saturday at like
Listen,
8:30.
I've
This is like
Well,
normally when I start maybe thinking about opening my eyes to get to
think
work.
about before lockdown. We used to record at 8 often. Actually, I used to just rock up at church.
Did we?
Like, hey,
Uh,
yeah, there's often 8.
Yeah.
8 plus 8.
yeah, okay, fair enough. You were waking up a lot earlier because you had to drive here. I was rolling out of bed still. Like
Exactly.
you were like, I'm at the gate. I'm like, "Ugh, okay.
Ah. Wake up, the dogs harass me. Like, hey, give us the drugs.
Exactly.
What's going on? Like, leave me, please. I'm innocent.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
So, but hey, without the drive, at least you see you can wait in bed. You can be toasty. It's a good time.
it's great, except it's cold, and I'm like, damn it, why is it cold? Of all days, I'm doing some cupboard sorting today, and it's
cold
this is something.
chores.
This is something Lenska and I have been putting off since before lockdown started. Because, like I told you before we started recording, we were like, yeah, we're on lockdown. We have more time at home. We're just going to sort out that cupboard. And it's August, and no cupboard has been sorted. So I'm on leave this coming week.
Oh yeah.
And we thought, you know what, we'll sacrifice the Saturday.
Are you both on leave or just you?
We're both on leave. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're gonna sacrifice the Saturday because whatever, we've got the whole week off.
It's
but
weird.
Let me tell you, this thing has not been.
Does it
not
feel
been
weird
looked forward
taking
to.
leave, like when you can't really leave the home?
Yes and no. So my boss encouraged us to take leave because I think every company's gonna have this problem where everyone's like, well, I can't go away. I'm just going to accumulate leave.
Fuck
and then
that. No.
when it's actual leave time, you know, not everyone's going to be able to go
Company
and leave.
shuts down, yo.
Yeah. But I think it's nice to not have anything to do. Like I'm just like that though, where I'm like, oh, cool. I don't actually have anywhere to go. So I'm actually just going to unwind and do nothing.
100%. Yeah.
Perfect. So
I agree.
yeah.
Like, because I've been utilizing these long weekends to like take a Friday off or take a Monday off and just make it like a 4-day weekend. And I have people at work who ask me like, well, why are you taking leave? You're still going to be at home. It's like, yes, that's the point.
Yes.
That's literally the
It's
point.
lovely. Think of all the series I can watch, the games I
all
can
the
play.
naps I can take.
All the, oh my God, I'm going to nap every day this week. That's my objective.
I napped yesterday. It was glorious because I took yesterday off. It was fantastic. I napped.
You
I did
smart
some,
person.
I also did some chores, cleaning up shit, finding a tripod that I think I've owned for like 5 years. That's actually
Oh
yours.
my God, you've had that thing for, I wouldn't say 5 years, but
legitimately,
many
I
years.
think it's been about 3 or 4 years.
3-4 years.
This lovely
I mean,
Manfrotto tripod that is just sitting.
I love the message you sent me though. You're like, do you remember that you own this? I was like, oh yes, my long lost child.
It's like if you
Makes
had a
this
nice
thing.
camera that you could connect to use as your webcam, and then you're like, man, if only I had a tripod.
If only. My favorite story about the tripod though is the first Gamescom I went to with Zoe and Jeff. They gave me so much shit, and understandably because the tripod is
It
massive.
is fucking heavy as well. Oh
It's
my
a
God.
big tripod, and carrying that thing around is not ideal, especially at a show like Gamescom where you're walking around Cologne and it's lovely, it's flat, but you walk very far.
And you're also
Okay.
just like taking out everyone next to you because
But then they gave me, because like on trips like that, yes, you should have a nice compact tripod that ideally can go in your bag or whatever. But I didn't have any other tripod, and this was my first trip, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to take my big tripod. They gave me so much shit until we climbed onto a tram, and I put it down, and it didn't move at all. When we moved, they're like, wow, that thing's amazing. I'm like, right? it's so sturdy, it's solid, doesn't move.
listen, I can empathize with you because like that thing is heavy. I think I took it once. I took that exact one on a trip to the UK, or was it? No, wait. It was E3, but I had a 10-hour layover in the UK, so I was carrying it around while I was walking around London.
Oh, no.
And that thing just created like a dent in my shoulder, just like carrying. But
Trick is to just swap shoulders.
yeah, constantly. But I've been on trips since we have taken like a cheap tripod. I'd rather just carry the heavy one because that cheap one gave me so many issues, man. Like, yeah, that heavy, that one of yours is super heavy, but it is like sturdy. It's
also
reliable.
super solid.
Yeah. It's like a good horse,
time.
you know. Look how many
I take it
cameras
to the
you can
racetrack
fit in
every
here.
now and then, you know, just run around. It's a good time, man.
Yeah,
Sure.
E3. What a time to be alive. Instead of E3 this year, we just have a fucking video game stream
Never
every
ending.
single week. It's this
Every
week.
week.
This week today in Slack, it was like, oh, Sony announced a state of play. Cool. And then
No.
next week is like, oh, there's a Cyberpunk stream. Oh, it looks like Call of Duty is being revealed. Oh, the week after that is Gamescom and this DC fandom thing, and it's just like.
There's a lot happening.
just-
Oh, DC fandom.
Just every week is E3, and I just hate it.
Listen, we live for games. You should be grateful.
I live for games, but
We're being drip fed.
tired.
Instead of having 1 week of games being thrown at our face, it's just
I'd
being
rather.
spread out now.
I'd rather
Yeah.
have the rush of the 3 days of no sleep, caffeine, whatever, and then like a month of like nothing because I'm just tired all the
and
time
the excitement. That
Yeah.
1 week is always so nice for like what's going to happen this week. Everyone's going to show something.
I also think
Now
now,
it's like,
Microsoft is feeling the effects of like when you are the only stream on the day, you're going to get scrutinized to the nth degree.
Yeah.
You know, whereas when you had Microsoft and Sony and Ubisoft on the same day, you generally like remembered the highlights and didn't really, you know, like what people did with that Halo footage. They scrubbed through every frame because like
They
what else
really
do they
did.
have to do? So
I love the memes that came out of that, but yeah.
what do they call that brute? Craig or something? Like Microsoft's like kind of
Does he have a
embraced it.
name?
Yeah,
Craig.
Craig. Whoever's behind the marketing at Microsoft head office is just genius. Because did you see that video this week that they put out, which was like a quote unquote song about games leaving
No.
Game Pass? Oh my god!
Wait. Okay, there's a difference here. Is it something on? Did you see this on the Xbox Game Pass channel?
It was on the YouTube. They,
Okay, but
I think they
it
also
might have
posted it
been-
on the Game Pass channel though.
Yeah. So do you follow the Xbox Game Pass channel on Twitter?
Yes.
Let me tell you that channel goes like it's the complete opposite of traditional Xbox brand guidelines.
They go hard.
and they go hard, but I love it.
It's so good.
Funny.
The video was like they got someone who sounded exactly like Usher, like on there, because you know Usher did the whole Happy Easter Xbox. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. And then
They're
all the
clever.
fonts in the video was Comic Sans. They know what they're doing.
That account is like a giant meme, but
Yeah.
it's really well thought out, and they just have so much fun. Like, so I can confirm that at the work we do for Xbox, we don't touch that Xbox Game Pass account. But I wish we got 1 or 2 briefs to be like, oh yeah, this game's coming. Come up with like a video or something for that.
They're genius. That marketing
It's
behind
so
there is
funny.
genius.
I
It's
love
so
it.
it's like the perfect balance of like funny meme, but not not like, oh, this is a corporate brand trying to be funny. It's like they nailed
it's
it.
actually funny.
Yeah,
they're
it's
nailing
actually
it.
funny. Like it's actually
You should take the time to also just go through some of their tweet replies. Like
is
that community manager's on point. It's really funny.
it makes a difference. It really does.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
does.
the official Sonic account on Twitter was really good. Much better than any other
Or-
games. Hey.
Oh wow! But I mean, on that, the Fall Guys Twitter account, which obviously blew up because the game came out last week.
This week, yeah.
Their social media is also really good. If you're following that account,
Yeah,
It's like
their account's very good.
they convey the necessary information, but it's still like in a meme or like tongue in cheek formats, which is cool.
And it's always like jolly and joyful. It's really good. It's really good. Speaking of which, let's checkpoint chat. Talk about video games. Video games like
Duh.
Fall Guys, which came out
Fall
this
Guys.
week. If you don't know what Fall Guys is,
Do
imagine
yourself a favor.
a battle royale where there's no parachuting onto an island, there's no guns, and there's no circle. So is it even a battle royale anymore?
Well, isn't it ironic that there's no parachuting and the game's called Fall Guys?
I know. There is a
You
really
see.
good falling animation while you're waiting for a game to load. Like
Oh, yeah, that's true.
it
So
would be
you are
kind of cool if you could
technically-
like move around in the screen, you know?
But you are technically then landing on an island filled with these mini games.
Yeah, you're landing on a game show island.
on a game show island like Takeshi's Castle.
Exactly.
If you don't know what Fall Guys is, just imagine Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, it is.
Because
It
it's
is
basically
literally a
that.
video game version of Takeshi's Castle or Wipeout, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Wipeout.
essentially it's a multiplayer game. 60 players in a game. Everyone plays as these little like jelly bean men in costumes, which are really cute. They walk kind of like funny. They like waddle from side to side and they bounce off of each other. And the jumps are really like. Everything's got a real distinct feel to it that just feels silly and ridiculous and fun. But essentially, you're a contestant in this game show, which comprises of various rounds, and each round is like a mini game that eliminates a handful of players after each, and you just kind of got to like survive and try get to the end and be the ultimate fall guy,
The ultimate Fall Guy.
fall jelly bean.
Full chili bean.
I think this game's really fun. I really, really like it.
It is. I think it's quite something. So the game's on PC.
And PS4.
But it's also free on PS Plus on PS4, which is, I think, is quite a big deal because it's just given the player base like raw numbers, because there's obviously like millions of PlayStation people trying it.
They had 1.5 million people on the first day. They destroyed them servers.
I think they've just continued to grow because this game's been all over Twitter, all over Twitch.
Yeah.
And like
It's
everywhere I
overtaken
look,
Twitch,
people
yeah.
are saying, damn, this game's fun. Like everyone's playing it. And it is. It's very easy to pick up. Because like in terms of controls, you literally have a jump, you have a dive, and you have a grab. And the games are so easy to understand. It's literally get from point A to B, or like don't fall into the pit of slime, or there's a few different conditions, but super easy to get your head around. And yeah, it's just very addictive because the game's also super short.
Yeah.
So it is a thing of like, I played before work one morning. I was like, I've got half an hour before work, and I played 2 or 3 games, and I was like, oh shit, like I've got to set
get to
up
work.
now. Where did the time go? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Good
think
Lord.
from beginning to end, if you get from the first round to the finale, I think in general it's maybe max like 15 minutes.
It's
Like
super
it's
quick,
super
yeah.
brief, super short, very easy to get into, and like you said, it's like very approachable. Like you can pass the controller to someone and be like, "This is jump, this is dive, this is grab," and that's like all you need to know. And like the games are presented in such a way that you're never like, wait, do I need to grab onto here? Do I need to jump here? It's like, oh yeah, there's a gap, jump onto it.
Yeah.
There's someone with the tail, grab onto that tail.
Grab the tail.
Something like that. Each of the mini games is like single focused, but really easy to like understand. I mean, every level's got like one sentence explaining what you need to do, and that's all you really need. It's that's it. So there's like 24 games as far as I can count.
Did you manage to get like a count?
So I
on
counted
them?
24, but apparently there's 25. And when I read up on it, there's one mode that I've never seen. Called I don't know if it's called Plague, but it's kind of like Plague. It's like one player is infected with like they've got like a pink mist around them, and if they touch other players, then that player becomes infected and it grows. And the aim is to like survive. I think I've never been served up that game.
Wow, I've also never seen that. So
It's
I
interesting. don't know. But yeah, there's apparently 24 or 25 games, whatever. I think a lot of them repeat. Especially
Yeah,
because you always start a match with a race. So the small pool of races, you see them fairly frequently because you're always playing the first round. Like, and there's only very few races. So like a lot of the other game modes you won't see because either you're not making it that far into a match consistently, or there's just more variety in that sort of, because it can be a race, it can be a survival, it can be a team one, whatever.
And realistically, it could be any game if you think about it. Like they could start the Fall Guy round with, I don't know, the football. If you really want to.
Oh my God, could you imagine that?
Imagine 30 people on each team. But like what I'm getting at is nothing stopping that, because it's not like that game's exclusive, or it's not like the race games are exclusive because there's more people. Like I guess it makes the most sense, but there are some where it's like you could realistically just have this happen with more people.
Yeah,
So,
I don't get it really, because it's also like sometimes you'll start with a race and then the next round will be a race again. It's like
Another race,
why?
yeah.
So I do think there needs to be a bit of work done with like the algorithm that serves up the game modes, because I think it favors this like pockets of few quite often, and then every now and then it's like, oh, I finally got this one, or I finally got that one, So I think that needs to be balanced, especially since they say they're going to be adding more game modes over time, which I definitely think they need to do. But I think most of the game modes are pretty good. What are some of your favorites?
I really like just the races in general and the platforming ones. I think it's Slime Mountain.
Oh, Slime Mountain.
Is it called that? Yeah.
Or Slime Climb. That's it.
Slime Climb, sorry, not Slime Mountain. Yeah, so the premise of that is that there's like obviously a linear path from A to B, and it slopes upward, and there's slime rising, and you just have to outrun it basically while dodging obstacles, navigating narrow beams, whatnot. So like stuff like that always makes me laugh because it's so intense, because you might fall off a platform like, oh God, like
The slime's coming.
I've still got time. Like the slime's not here yet, and you have to just patiently make your way through this course, but like alongside say 30 other people also frantically trying to get over these narrow platforming bits.
That game mode takes no prisoners though. Like I've seen
you fall
so
in the
many
slime, you
people
die.
eliminated in that round. Yeah, it's crazy.
I
There's some
also
pro
enjoy-
strats on that one. I've seen people bouncing off at the beginning. They've got like
There's a shortcut, right?
Yeah.
You bounce up to the next platform. Yeah.
those bumpers that look like something out of a pinball table. If you jump into it and angle it right, you can like get up a whole level. It's
Yeah. I don't
strats.
even bother.
No, I don't bother with that.
whatever.
I'm just like, I'm just going to play this like it should be because the slime is coming. I can't waste time.
But I also enjoy. Is it called Tiptoe?
It's a
where-
dominoes.
Was it with the dominoes where there's one platform to get across from A to B?
Oh,
but
okay.
some
No,
of the
sorry.
some of the
I'm thinking
some of the
of that other
tiles
one.
are some of the tiles will stick. You have to run across them. Other ones will disappear.
That one's a fun mode,
I just love it because it's a thing of obviously someone has to go test out every tile, in order to see if it's a fake or not. But
Yeah.
it becomes this like trust thing of like, hey, you go first. People like,
Everyone
"No,
kind
you
of like
go
groups
first."
up on the last known tile and they're just kind of like
Yeah.
moving to try and shove someone into a
Exactly.
direction.
But it's funny. I just love how the pieces fall into place of like, okay, oh shit, someone just fell through that tile.
Yeah.
I've seen someone fall through there. It must be this one. And everyone just like dashes over, but then stops because like, okay, what's the next one now?
Yeah. It's a great
so
mode.
funny.
It's
Yeah.
so devious though because right at the end there's a gap and it doesn't
Yes.
tell you. I mean, I saw your
I've-
clip where you
Yeah, I was
fell.
so mad. But the thing is, I knew the gap was coming. Or I don't know if I did or didn't, but I was like, when I didn't jump, I was like, oh, of course there's a gap here. Like, what does that think? Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, those are just some standout ones for me. What are some of your favorites?
I also like Tiptoe a lot. I like some of the races are really good. The whirly gig is really fun. The one with all the fans that you have to because that race. I like that race because it feels long. I feel like some of the races
Yes,
are just too
They're
short.
too short. The fan one is really long.
Yeah, the whirly gig, and there's another one that feels like something taken out of the TV show Wipeout because there's like swinging balls and balance beams, and I don't know what that stage is called, but that one's really good as well. Because it's also again, it's a nice long one.
Yeah.
But I like some of the more jump focused ones. So Hexagon, which is used as a finale round.
And I think it's a really good finale
It's
round.
a super good finale. I think it's the
Yeah.
strongest finale mode. Like, so you start on like a top level of hexagon, like a floor made out of hexagons, and every time you touch one, it disappears. So the idea is to just like stay alive as much as you can, because if you fall through one level, you'll be on the next level, and I think there's like
Closer to the bottom.
5 or 6
It's quite a
till it
few,
gets to
yeah.
like slime. So the idea is to like stay alive as long as you can, but you got to also be careful because if you're staying on like a top level for longer than other players, when you eventually fall, because you definitely will, you got to make sure that you don't just fall through all the gaps that players have created
Yeah.
right down to the bottom. So I think it's a really cool mode because it's like a high risk, high reward type of thing.
Yeah.
I also like the one team mode, the egg scramble, where you have to gather eggs into
Oh,
a basket.
no.
I like it a
hate
lot.
it
It's
so
the only.
much.
It's like there's that one, and the team mode where you like pushing a ball through an obstacle course. I think it's called Rock and Roll. Those are the only
Yeah.
team ones I like. I think all the other team ones suck.
Yeah, I was going to say, look, the rock and roll, if that's what it's called, I enjoy that one. But I think I dislike the egg one and the tail one because I think playing from South Africa, we've got a bit of lag. So it feels a bit janky to grab an egg or a tail. There are times when I'm running away and it seems like someone's far away from me, but they get my tail. I'm like, how did that
Yeah.
happen? Or I'm chasing someone and I'm like, I should have got the tail, but maybe because of the delay, I didn't push the button fast enough or whatever.
I've definitely noticed that with the tail ones. Yeah.
Yeah, but generally, like, so those two I don't mind, but I'm not a big fan of the team games. Although there's one, is it called the alley hoop or something, where you have to just jump through the hoops to get
Oh yeah,
points
that
for
one.
your
That
team?
one's fun. Yeah.
I really enjoy that one. That one's a lot of fun as well, just running around getting points for your team. But the egg one, the football one, I do not like it.
Yeah,
It's
the
like it
football one
just
sucks.
doesn't feel
Yeah.
good. If anything, it just makes me want to play Rocket League.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's a better team game for this, and it's called Rocket League.
I think
you know?
the team games, to me, it depends on like how much can I influence the game individually, and that's why I like the egg one, because I can just be like, cool, I'm going to focus on collecting eggs or stealing eggs or whatever. You know, at the end of the day, the team still has to work together, but it's not like the tail one where it's like I have to chase after another player to get this tail, or it's not like I know I just said I like rock and roll, but that one can be derailed quickly when it's like two players on pushing the ball. Then you're fucked. Like it's done.
Then you're screwed.
So yeah, the team modes that can be derailed that quickly kind of suck. I don't know if you've played the one. It takes place in the same arena as the egg scramble, but there's like 3 balls, and the idea is to keep as many balls in your quadrant as possible. That one sucks.
Yeah.
That one's like the worst one.
Oh, yeah. No, look, it's funny because it's hit and miss. Thinking about it now, what I do like about the team games is that they can change within seconds. Like, you might be winning, and you think, oh, there's only 30 seconds left. Like, there's no ways anyone's going to come back now, and you can still lose.
Yo, that egg scramble can change in a dime.
Yeah, so like that I think it's weird because it's fair/unfair at the same time. Because you're like, how can I lose so quickly? But it also makes it incredibly exciting. So like on the tail grab one, if there are 2 teams tied at bottom place, you're going to overtime for like another 10 seconds. We had one round where it went on for like a minute. I kid you not.
Yeah, I've had the same thing.
You think like, oh, thank God we're winning. Oh God, it's overtime. Shit. Oh no, we're losing. Oh, thank God we're okay.
That overtime is so stressful.
And it just carries on.
Yeah,
like that's exciting. Okay. But then there are times in it just feels frustrating. So I don't know how you balance sort of what you change, but I much prefer the single player games across the board purely because like if I go out, it's my own fault.
They should they should just remove the tail things entirely. I think they suck. Yeah, I think the team one's fine because there's enough tails going around. The individual one,
it's like, the finale. I know.
The finale one is super bad. I think it's like at that point there's generally only like maybe six to 8 players in this arena that is bigger than where the team one takes place. Like it makes no sense. And there's only one tail. So if you start at the tail, considering every player moves exactly the same speed, it's like really difficult.
Have a good path.
Yeah, if that player like they have to fuck up monumentally for you to even get close. And even then, when you get close, you have to be like so close to grab that tail, and they can easily just flick a different direction and will break that like hold.
Yeah,
I hate that mode. I really, as a finale, that one's bad, and the race for Mountain as a finale is bad because it's
I don't like the race.
It's like one of the shortest races in the game.
It's super short, and if you bugger up, then
you're done. And there's so many elements in that short race that can fuck you up. Like I was winning once. I think you were watching, and I got hit by a ball that was shot by a cannon. But it was in the air, so it hadn't bounced yet. So I had no idea it was coming. So I'm just like, I'm winning. Next thing I get trashed by this ball, and that's it. Game over. It's like, yeah. I think
it's done.
I think the finale modes need to be tuned up a bit because it feels real bad when you survive 5 rounds really well, and then you get served up a shitty finale, and it just feels like you've just wasted your time, type of thing.
Yeah.
But
look,
it's a fun game.
Overall the game's a lot of fun.
It's just like it's so easy to get into. The mini games I think are fun, and the presentation, like it's so colorful and happy, and the soundtrack,
that music. Oh my God, is so good.
That
I mean, if I close my ears, I can hear the menu music right now.
That fucking bass track. It's so good. It's so good. I think the cosmetics are pretty cool. I think it's cool that you don't have to buy the battle pass. It's just like part of your main progression. And I feel like the game gives out a lot of in-game currency. So I was buying costumes pretty like quickly.
Just on the battle pass quickly though. So I do like that it's free there, but I do think that, so let's say it's season 1. I do think for season 2 it would be cool if they made more like, you know how Fortnite has specific challenges in a
Okay.
week or daily.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it's really just like, okay, if I have to hit level, is it 40?
Yes.
But
I
it's
think 40
just
is the highest.
purely XP based. There's
Yeah.
no, it's not like,
Kudos.
win the first round 10 times, for example. Like,
Mm-hmm.
as a dumb example, I think it would be cool to have some sort of objective, if that's possible.
No,
I
I
don't know.
do. I do think
Um,
like you said, Fortnite has the battle pass, but then you have your daily and weekly challenges that like help
which just boost
that.
up your
Yeah.
level, yeah.
I think that could work out.
Um,
Yeah, as long
and
as
then
they're
just-
not on the same level as the game's trophies, because those things are bullshit. Those things, man. I've seen some dumb, like winning 5 games in a row. Firstly, is just like
just,
ridiculous. But then there's
But people are
there's
doing
some
it.
bizarre ones. It's like what was one? It was like you need to fall consecutively for like 5 seconds or something like that. And I
How?
was just like, what? I don't know, I got to reread, but there were like 2 or 3 that I was like, what? Like
What is this?
that
How are you
doesn't
gonna
that
get
doesn't sound like something I could actively like work towards. It sounds like complete luck.
like a
So-
luck thing, or
and
yeah.
even the developer, when it came out this week that some people had got that trophy for like 5 wins in a row, he was like, "Oh, we put it in there and didn't really think it was possible." It's like, fuck off!
Why
Don't make
would you put
trophies
that
like
in then?
that. Yeah, really. Why would you do that? It's
Okay, but on that, the fact that there are people out there who have 5 wins in a row
madness.
is wild. Because I've played a couple of hours. I've come close to winning. I haven't won yet.
I haven't won either because his finales suck.
John Michael though did win 1 round.
Did he?
He won a hexagon. Yeah,
Nice.
he's exceptionally good at that game. Like he often made it to the final round, and we're like, damn, he came close. So you though. I mean, when we played with you,
Yeah.
it was often us just watching you like getting to the final round and being like, you're so close.
This
Try
is
it
what
again.
this is why the finales annoy me, because like I can consistently hit that end, and it's not like, okay, gift me the win, but it's like it doesn't feel, they don't feel like the same game when I get to the finale,
No.
unless I get to hexagon, which is like, man, I got so close that one time. I was like, I came second, and it's like
Yeah.
that game. You know, I don't feel bad when I lose in hexagon, because it's like, shit, I like fucked up, or I didn't jump at the right time, or I mistimed something. But
Yeah.
man, when you get to full mountain, and I'm like, you start in the back row, so you're already at a disadvantage, and then you, man, I hate that race so much.
That, yeah.
It's so bad. Fall
But
Guys
I mean,
is
the
good.
fact, the fact that they're going to keep adding modes, cosmetics, etc. It's like, so I got it free for PS Plus, but I bought it on PC anyway because I wanted to have it with. I mean, I know there's crossplay, but I don't quite know how parting up works.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But I bought it on PC because it's like one of those games where I know I'll play it maybe now and get over it, but I'll come back because they're going to keep supporting it. So and it was cheap. It was like 130 rand.
Did
so.
you get the Gordon Freeman costume?
I did not.
Or
So I
maybe
must
it
have
was a
look, 'cause
pre-order thing then.
It might have been a pre-order thing. Yeah,
It was very cute. It
That's
was,
fun, though.
it was his HEV suit, and then your hat was a face hugger.
Damn it.
Well, not
Why
a
did
face
I not
hugger. What's it
pre-order
called?
this
Head
game?
crab.
A head crab, yeah.
Very cute.
Yeah.
And he's got them glasses. It's real cute. I saw a lot of people in the technical beta with that thing. So yeah,
those
that's
people.
Fall Guys. It's a good time.
A lot of fun. Well, have you played anything else this week?
My dogs are having a domestic quarrel quickly. They're just fighting a little bit.
I can't believe you left the window open.
I've also played some Horizon Zero Dawn, but not on PS4, on PC. 'cause that game came out
what
on
a
PC
time to be
now.
alive.
And let me
Good
tell
Lord.
you, the port is not great. It's
Which is shocking because I mean I wasn't aware of that until obviously the reviews dropped and a whole lot of articles came out this week. Isn't it weird that the game is not optimized and full of stuff like that when Death Stranding came out not that
Yeah.
long ago, and it's same engine and everything?
It's so. I mean, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but it's looking like Death Stranding's PC port was done in house by Kojima Productions. But the
Okay.
Horizon Zero Dawn PC port wasn't done by Guerrilla; it was done by another company. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I also found that odd, but knowing that maybe Guerrilla
makes
didn't do
sense,
it,
yeah.
it's like, well, the people who designed that engine weren't working on the PC port of it. So it's weird.
Yeah.
Like Death Stranding supports DLSS for NVIDIA, which is super great, and Horizon doesn't. It doesn't support it.
That's weird.
It has a feature where you can set like a target frame rate. So it's like, cool, I want to target 60 frames. And then it will dynamically adjust the resolution to hit that target. But the feature's like broken. Digital Foundry actually has a really good breakdown. Of course they do. Of all the settings and the features, and it explained why I was having performance issues that I didn't understand. So the 60 frame or the frame rate target adaptive resolution thing, it's so aggressive that when you put it on, if you are not hitting your frame rate target, like I was trying to hit 4K at 60 frames per second, it just dropped me down straight away to 1080p. There was no like in between. There was no like, okay, I'm going to reduce your scale by 75, then 50, then 25, you know. Sorry, I'm just dying here.
Yo, please keep your coronis to yourself.
Well, this is why we are social distancing, you know.
Correct. Yo, this man drinking Monster
At 9 in the morning.
at 9 in the morning. Get that hot racing.
So, yeah, stuff like that is weird. It's also, there's just parts of the game, like there's micro stutters that I can't get rid of. So the game will be running fluidly, but then it will just be like, zip, like lock up for a brief second and then carry on again. And it's like frequent enough that it's noticeable. There's not many like in-game settings to mess around with the visual detail, but you know what's there does make the game look good. I don't know if it makes it look remarkably better than the PS4 version, and Digital Foundry seem to find the same. They were like, some of these settings really, they incur like this big performance cost, but they don't really do much. They don't really change the image all that much. So for the most part, I think you're good like running. There's actually a graphics preset which says original, which is essentially the closest to how it was on PS4.
PS4.
And that, like, the game looks super good. I mean, the game looks super good still. It's a really good looking game. But it's just bizarre. I mean, it's hard for me to say because I'm running on a 2080 Ti. So when I'm running at the original settings, I'm like pretty fine performance-wise.
Pretty fine, yeah.
But I know that people running on mid-range cards like the 1060 or the 1660, fuck, those names are so weird. Like basically cards that are within the price region of a PS4 but should be outperforming the PS4 Pro. Like if you look at any other PC games, they are outperforming the Pro.
Yeah.
They are not managing like 30 frames per second in this game, which is just like, it makes
That's weird,
no
though.
sense at all. So for a large majority of PC players, you know, it could be problematic performance-wise. There was a patch this week that was like 35 gigs, and that changed, that helped performance a little bit, but it's still, I played it yesterday and there's still issues. So
what the heck did they put in 35 gigs of
Jesus,
content?
I don't know. It was
They've been hanging out with the
Infinity Ward.
Activision Infinity Ward, yeah.
But the game, like when it does run well and you're running at like 60 frames plus, because the game on PS4 was only 30 frames, like it does feel like a much better experience. Like it's so smooth. The combat feels a lot snappier and a lot more responsive. There's some weird things with some animations, like foliage animations are locked at 30 and sometimes facial animations are at 30, so it makes cutscenes look super weird.
Like it's in slow-mo.
Yeah, it looks like the faces, it's weird. I don't like it. So there's like, it's like there's weird things on this port, like oversights that just, you know, if this was a Sony developed first party game, you wouldn't expect those oversights. Yeah. So especially when Microsoft is putting out such quality PC ports, you know, like Gears of War 5 is like one of the benchmarks of how to do a PC port. So yeah, not a great showing for Sony's, because Death Stranding isn't Sony's PC game. It's Kojima and 505. Sony has nothing to do with it. This is the first of Sony's, you know, bread and butter exclusives they put on PC, and it's not great. So the game's still good. you can eke out the performance you need if if you're smart with the settings that you toggle, but in general, it's just like it needs a lot of work. The PC port.
Well, look, I've played the game on PS4 and I don't really have the time to replay it. But I do definitely want to give it a try because I do think, shit, imagine that experience I had on PS4, but where the frame rate is just super smooth.
And that's all I really wanted.
Better.
And you can't really get that with these like stutters and things like that. So
it makes me think I just need to wait.
Yeah, wait for some patches or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, it's just confusing because like that game on PS4 runs at 30 frames per second, but it is using the PS4 so well. Like it is running at a locked 30 or very close to a locked 30 and producing stuff that PS4 probably shouldn't be able to produce. It is a technical marvel. So like you'd expect it being put on PC where the hardware is so much more capable, like to just be at the very least, just be like, here's the same experience, high frame rates. Not to have frames. Like, here's the same experience and we're running at low frame rates than you should be. It's like, it makes no sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. So
yeah,
maybe, if you bought it on that like 270 Rand sale, then good on you. I think it's still fine. But I hope they do patch it fairly soon because it's not great.
Yeah, but look, I hope they do too because Horizon's one of the best games of the PS4
phenomenal. It's a really good
generations. Like, I'll never forget seeing the trailer for that when it was first announced. It was just something completely different that I'd never seen Sony or anyone else do before. The whole premise of like humanity so far in the future that it's like some events happen obviously, but it's so far in the future that it's almost gone back to like tribalistic.
Yeah, the tribalism with like, and they're like scared of technology and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's like, damn.
The premise of the game is so unique. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fighting a giant robot.
I love fighting that Megazord T-Rex.
It is just
so good.
Just so cool.
Here's a hot take because I've been playing both this week. I've been playing obviously Horizon again, and I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. Horizon's a better game.
Wow.
Not even.
Look, how far are you in Ghost of Tsushima?
I'm still in Act 1, but I'm like.
But I mean,
it's not
in terms of time, like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Like I think about 4 or 5 hours, something like that.
See, it did take a while for me to get invested in the game. Where it's typical thing of most games. Like something just clicks. You're like, oh, okay, like I understand this game now.
I've heard that. I've heard, yeah.
I do hear you though. I mean, I went from The Last of Us 2 to Ghost of Tsushima, and when that opening hour, I was like, "Ooh, the frame rate's not great. It doesn't look as nice." But just purely because The Last of Us is this hyper realistic,
it's very different
looking game. Yeah, but after a while, eventually, it's like, "Damn, these colors are so pretty." Ooh,
yeah, that Ghost of Tsushima, like visually, like it's not from a technical standpoint on the level of Last of Us 2, but the way it uses color and its varied environments, it's beautiful. Yeah. Like really. Really one of the best looking games I've ever played. But I'm just not finding that much fun, and I think the quests are super, super one note.
I think it takes a while to get going.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't get into it, you don't get into it.
Yeah. The combat's fine. It's like there's no one thing keeping me there, you know what I mean? Except for the setting, which you know, when I played Assassin's Creed Origins, before I properly finished that game earlier this year and really, really loved it, I'd started and tried it twice and fallen off of it. And then, you know, I pushed through, I played like 5 hours, and then I was like super into it. So I'm hoping the same is true for the Ghost of Tsushima. We'll see. Maybe I'm just not in the space to play it right now.
No, absolutely not.
What else have you been playing?
You've played that stuff. I played a little bit of the Avengers Beta.
That went live yesterday.
Yeah. Did it go live yesterday?
Yeah, for PS4 players, yeah.
So I only managed to play about an hour. But just context in this game, I've only really seen the announced trailer. I haven't watched any of the wall tables.
Okay.
So I've gone in completely blind for the most part.
Okay.
And
maybe good. You're less jaded by it.
I think I'm less jaded because my understanding is that the sentiment is... Look, I agree that from what I saw, I didn't think the game was going to do well. I think it's launching at a weird time. It's like it's launching at the end of the console generation, and there's something about it that just doesn't seem like it's going to stand out. Like from before even putting any time into it. But having played it now, I think I'm optimistic that it turns out to be something that people would enjoy, because the game starts out on the Golden Gate Bridge
in San Francisco. Yeah,
I mean that's probably, if you watch the announced trailer, that's what they showed you, was like,
it was
just
that prologue
setting.
mission.
Yeah. And I do like having played the prologue mission now, I think it does a good job of setting up the game, because you're obviously running through this mission and you get like 5 minutes per character.
Okay.
So you start off as Thor, you get to play as Iron Man, you play as Hulk, you play as Black Widow, and even Captain America. And it gives you a good quick feel of like, okay, all these characters have the same like buttons mapped out. Like there's a light attack, there's a heavy attack, but they all feel somewhat different in how they play. So I know Hulk, for example, is like this big brute who's just about going in and smashing the shit out of everything.
He seems like a fun time.
Yeah, whereas Black Widow, even though I've only had 5 minutes with her, she feels a lot more nimble.
Okay.
And her moveset is all about like dodging and getting in close and like doing combos. So I'm like, that's cool. Like I've only really had a taste, but it would be interesting to see how this plays out in the main game when I have to choose my character. Like who do I actually want to team up with my friends or whatnot. So yeah, I think the prologue does a good job of setting that up, just giving you a quick taste of what's happening. Even the story, just quickly, the premise is that San Francisco basically gets attacked. Captain America is presumably dead, which I'm like, okay, that's
America's greatest ass. Dead.
It's dead. I mean, they showed that when they revealed the game as well. It's like,
yeah, they did. That's like the whole idea. It's like the Avengers disband because they feel guilty over not being able to protect everyone and stuff.
So what happens is it's kind of like almost civil war in that sense, where they're not allowed to interfere. They're doing more harm than good. And in terms of that, I'm like, I actually do want to see how the story plays out. And having now had some time with the characters, I do want to see how they play in the final game when I could actually get into them. But then here's where my concern lies. I think I've read up, there are 3 missions. So I've done the first one, the prologue, and I've done a bit of the second one, which is you play as Hulk and is it Miss Marvel?
Oh, Kamala Khan.
Stretchy arm girl.
Yeah, Kamala Khan. She's cool. Yeah, Dulcim's daughter.
Dulcim. So those missions feel great because they are narrative heavy. They're telling you a story, and there are moments between the characters. Okay. Like this conversation and this dialogue.
Because the mission knows it has to have these characters, so there can be like scripted dialogue. Okay.
But now I'm trying to understand. So I have not got to the third. I think it's the third mission where you get to choose who you want to play as, and then thereafter you get to do war missions. I haven't played that yet, but just my initial thoughts are, I don't know how that will feel when, like, how will that feel when you're just running generic missions, inverted commas. I don't know what they're like. Just rinsing and repeating to ramp up your gear, for example, because the game is designed to be like a grindy looter. And I've seen people compare it to Destiny. Having never played Destiny. Yeah, a hero looter. So having never played Destiny, I don't know the comparison, but I understand the fact that if I'm playing as Hulk, I might get a piece of gear that boosts his gear level by like 1 or 2, and it might give a perk to an ability. And the addictive nature of those games is you want to grind out the best gear possible and have optimal builds.
It's a numbers game.
So I understand that. It's a numbers game. So I understand that, but I don't know how that fits into an Avengers game. Like, at what point does it become boring to run the same missions over and over again? And what does that mean in the narrative missions? Like, can you grind those alone? Do you get to play those with friends? Like, it's a bit weird because this is really just a small slice of the game. And a lot of people are still trying to grapple what the main game's going to be like when it's finished, and like what the loop's going to be like. But I can say that, so I know that comes across as negative, but what I can say is that I am optimistic, and I was pleasantly surprised because the general sentiment was like, this game's dead on arrival. And I don't think it will be. I think it will find an audience. Okay. Because it feels like, so combat, for example, I was actually taken aback by how good it feels.
Okay.
It feels
that's promising. That's good.
yeah, when playing with Thor, for example, the first character you play with, when you whack a dude with Mjolnir, you get this chunky thud, and it feels satisfying. Like you're watching it, you're playing it, and it feels good to do that. You know, to pull those combos out.
Did the combat not feel a bit like? I mean, this is the balance that a lot of these games have to like find is making you still feel powerful, while also giving you enemies that scale according to your gear. So, like in Destiny, I think Destiny hits a good stride here because at its core, it's still a shooter. So you will have enemies that will soak up a lot of damage, but at the end of the day, if you're whacking off headshots, you're taking down enemies. Your time to kill is like pretty small. Whereas I play something like The Division, and I think The Division feels good, but I can understand the perspective of people where they go, I'm shooting a human in their head, and they're just tanking like thousands of bullets in their head because at its core, it's an RPG. So, like, how does the combat in Avengers feel where, Thor, God of Thunder, should be wrecking robots with one hit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So, like, I started the game on hard difficulty.
There's different difficulties?
Which is also quite interesting. I'm like, how do you balance this? What if we play together and I'm playing on hard, you playing on super hard or normal, whatever? Like, does it find a middle ground or does it just balance the game accordingly?
Because the way Destiny approaches difficulty is like there is a base difficulty, but then when you take on story missions or strikes or whatever, you can choose a difficulty which scales your rewards and your XP that you get from it. It also is like you play everything on normal first, and then when you put it on hard, it's like, well, your power level should be this to take this on hard.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I don't know if this game's balanced like that because nothing seems to indicate to me that you playing on hard, we're going to give you more XP or loot. I mean, it's the beta, so maybe that's not there yet. But so I started on hard difficulty, and playing as Thor was a thing of, you can't just one hit people. How you should be because you Thor, you're whacking people. With
it's an RPG, hammer. So that makes sense.
But it didn't feel bad because it was like it took a handful of hits to dispatch the enemies I was fighting. But remember, this is the first level. So in the second level, when I was playing as Hulk, it was a bit of like, I acknowledge it is a bit weird that I'm playing Hulk and it takes a bunch of hits to take down an enemy because you Hulk for crying out loud. But again, it's not like it feels good and bad at the same time because it is like it takes a couple of hits, but you are still able to dispatch groups of enemies. I mean, this is my experience with Hulk where I got swarmed by, say, a dozen enemies, and it was a thing of I just did area moves and I slowly got rid of them. But then,
so you still feel like the Hulk in that regard.
You still feel like, it's really fun to jump into the air and just slam down. And you feel like, oh god, there's like a nice effect here. But then there are enemies that are just like they're meant to be mini bosses, and it does take a little while to get them down.
And what are the majority of enemies? Are they humans, robots?
The first level, it looked like mercs, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe just dudes running around in armor with weapons, whatever.
I think the Taskmaster is like a boss in the prologue, isn't he?
He's the first, he's the first boss that you fight in the prologue. In the second mission, you really up against robots, it feels like.
Okay.
They've got some tankiness to them.
There's a variety of different types, I assume.
And there's a variety. Yeah, you get like your generic scrubs who are just there to,
run into battle.
But you also do get. It's funny how I've played. Just sorry for the comparison. I played Dark Souls and these games that emphasize dodging only like last year, but it feels like that is now bleeding into a lot of games that follow. So like Sekiro, obviously FromSoft game, emphasized parrying and dodging, whatever. But now a lot of other games do it as well. Like Ghost of Tsushima is the most recent example of if you time a dodge perfectly, like there might be a moment of slow-mo and you're like, oh damn, I dodged that attack perfectly. Avengers has that too. You can dodge. There are indicators to show like there's an attack incoming, like dodge at the right time. And I don't know if there's a benefit to it, but it is there. So combat can be fun in that regard. If you're really good at it, you can dodge and you can dish out damage in return.
I will say I was watching a stream last night of I think it was kind of funny they were playing the game, and the thing that stood out to me the most when while I was watching them was Camilla Khan's movement looks super cool. Like she can like throw her arm to a ledge and pull herself up with her stretchy
She can
arms.
swing.
She's like the Spider-Man
She's
that is coming
Spider-Man.
to all platforms and not just PlayStation because
oh wow,
fuck's sake. But
That's
yeah,
so funny.
her movement and her combat looked really cool. And I think it's cool that she's essentially the star of the game because it's like, firstly, it's someone completely new. You know, it's not like an Iron Man or a Thor or whatever. So you're sort of seeing an Avengers story from a completely different perspective with new powers. So yeah, I think her as a main character is an inspired choice.
But I think, just to finish off, I do think the game does have promise to it. I can't tell you it's the best game ever or it's going to like.
I mean, you played an
do
hour,
incredibly
so
well.
yeah.
I played an hour, so take what you will, take what I say with a grain of salt. But I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
Like I did not expect it. Like I did not expect the combat, for example, to feel weighty. If that makes sense.
Well, maybe we can team up this week and we can give it a go.
Team up, yeah. So if you've got the time, play it a bit because I think you do get. I think the third
There's
mission
quite a few
onward
missions,
is
yeah.
actual multiplayer, Because so what I've played is only single player. I haven't played any of the multiplayer stuff, all with AR.
But the single player stuff can be
companions.
played in co-op. You just can't choose. Like you can.
So what happens in that instance? You just play as the same hero.
I don't know. Again,
See,
these are the
I don't know.
confusing aspects of.
Yeah,
Like I don't
it doesn't
understand.
make sense to me.
But yeah, we need to give it a go. I have read that there are some hidden missions in the game which are really good as well. So
That's quite cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's out in like a month. So curious. I'm curious because I'm not sold on the game at all.
Curious.
Like.
No.
But I haven't played it. I've only seen it. I've seen it at E3 and, watched all the war tables. And I don't know, it's just not grabbed me, which is strange because I'm there opening night for any Avengers movie.
Exactly.
So
But I think if you have the chance, just try it out.
definitely
because
going to,
maybe
yeah. Definitely
maybe you'll
going
be
to.
pleasantly surprised. Because even the fact that I wasn't hot in the game, I was like, but it's an Avengers game. Like you're playing as all your favorite heroes, whatever, and it sounds like there's a good story here. Like from that regard, I'm curious.
The story sounds like the most fascinating aspect to me. So yeah, I'm here to be like won over. So I need to play this beta and give it a go. So we can play this week probably, and maybe check in again next week.
Yes, cool. And that's it. Spoke nearly an hour.
Hot damn.
The episodes keep getting longer and longer.
Let's get to video game releases.
Let's get some lame releases.
We're looking at video games. It's already 8th of August. Can you believe it? Fuck me.
What is happening to this year?
Looking at video games coming out from today, 8th of August, until the 14th. Oh my god.
14th.
Oh my god. 1,
Why
2,
so
3, 4,
sad?
5. Yeah, there's a handful of things here. Oh, okay. So August 11th is the official launch of Hyperscape. So
Yes, on console.
yeah, coming out of beta on PC and it's launching on PS4 and Xbox One. I've almost forgotten this game existed. That's how it's kind of like just disappeared from my mind.
I think just on that, it'll stick around though.
Oh yeah, no,
it's a Ubisoft
I think
game.
like we said when we discussed it on a previous, I
Yeah.
don't know if it was last week or the week before. It's like it's not hitting my buttons, but I definitely think it has enough to sustain itself for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And Ubisoft is really good at supporting its games post-launch. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to disappear anytime soon.
No.
Coming out on August 12th, a game called Metamorphosis. PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Metamorphosis.
This is Grounded, the sequel. So at the
nice.
end of Grounded, you envelop yourself in a cocoon. And then the sequel is
Yes.
Metamorphosis.
Oh, okay.
So you're a
playing as a
butterfly.
butterfly.
Yeah.
Nice. Goddamn.
August 13th, a Total War Saga Troy. So the Total War series, it's got a spin-off which is set during the Troy, Brad Pitt.
You play as Brad Pitt.
Achilles.
Nice, man.
Yeah, that's the. I've never been a Total War person. I do recall a time at E3. I think I was with E3 at you. I can't recall. Or was it Gamescom? I don't know. I got booked for a preview for Total War, and it was a 30-minute hands-on session.
Not for you.
Wow. that PR rep must have thought I was a fucking idiot because I was just like I don't know how this game works. Like,
can I tell you, I previewed Assassin's Creed, which is the one set in London.
Syndicate.
I previewed that at a Gamescom or E3, and I'd never played an Assassin's Creed game. So the fact that you have to like hold a button to run along and parkour was foreign to me.
Yeah, and,
So
and those demos usually brief enough where it's like they hope that you understand the game well enough.
Exactly.
Like,
so the rep must have looked at me, so I was like, I keep falling into the water. It's like, just hold this button. Like, okay.
But I mean, we when we went to E3 and Gamescom, it was like teams of like 2 or 3 people. So of course you're going to get appointments where the person's like not suited for the game. That's just the nature of it.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Goddamn.
What a fun time.
Yeah.
Coming to PC and Switch on August 13th as well. Double Kick Heroes. Don't know what that is. Sounds cool though.
It sounds like there's twice the kicks.
Also, twice the kicks, double the fun. August 13th, Teenage Blob coming to PC.
Nice.
I feel like I'm personally attacked. It's like, I was a teenage blob. How dare you?
What?
How dare you?
Goddamn.
And then the last game for the week, UFC 4 coming to PS4 and Xbox One on August 14th. Cool.
Goddamn.
Punch people in the face. Muay Thai.
Punch them in the nozzle.
Roundhouse kick. Grapples. Fighting
Stuff.
jargon. That.
Words.
But yeah, that's your games for the week.
That's games releases.
News. Games.
What news do we have?
Lots of stuff actually.
There's a shit ton of stuff.
Let's start off quickly with the surprise state of play that happened.
I'm just gonna come out and say I didn't watch it because I was streaming, so you have to recap it for me.
Oh my god!
Although I do know some of the announcements.
Okay,
that came out of that.
I'll recap it quickly if I can find an article. Imagine we prepared this stuff. I need to really start doing this because this is nonsense.
That doesn't work like this.
Okay, state.
I mean, we can just sidetrack quickly while you're busy searching there. So we spoke about Avengers. Spider-Man is coming to Avengers, but he's going to be a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this.
Which is just an interesting.
I get it. I think Sony has the rights to Spider-Man, on digital whatevers. That's why they've got the game only on PS4, and obviously they want to keep that brand association. Like Spider-Man means PlayStation. So
the S in Spider-Man is for Sony, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Sony man.
Sony man. But I don't know. This really puts a sour taste in a multi-platform game. It's weird as well because you had Marvel. What was it? Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's the one. 3 on Switch, and that had Spider-Man. Why is that not an issue?
Yeah, so that had all of the Spider-Man. Just by the way,
it's really clearly Sony just flexing against Microsoft.
Being a dick.
Yeah, it's
I did not even
move.
think of the Capcom thing to be Ultimate Alliance. I did not even think about that example.
Yeah. So
it's crazy.
It's really weird. And even Marvel vs. Capcom, the fighting game, has Spider-Man in both versions. So I don't know.
Okay,
I don't like it. Whatever. It also just means that Spider-Man is so inconsequential to the story that he can be on one platform and not the other, which is a real shame. So
yeah,
I don't know. Bad move. Boo. Don't like it.
Boo.
Okay. The state of play. So this state of play was primarily focused on PS4 games. It did have PS5 stuff, mostly just updates on PS5 games that had already been announced. No hardware details, no Sony first-party stuff. And
no price.
Despite that, there was some cool shit in there. It kicked off with Crash Bandicoot 4, an extended look at it. This game keeps looking better and better every time they show it. I'm so excited for this game.
I mean, it's a fresh Crash game for the first time in 33 years.
But it looks like they're taking the right ideas from the core trilogy and applying it with new things. So you can play as Crash, you can play the entire game as Coco. You'll have levels where you play as Cortex and Dingodile. It looks beautiful. And now there's they revealed this thing called inverted mode, which basically you can play existing levels that you played already with like variations.
Oh, no.
So there'll be
That's
variations to the objectives, but also variations to the visual style. So one of them makes the entire level look like neon inspired. One of them, the one blew my mind. So it's like the whole level's in black and white. And when you spin a box, it like explodes in a bit of like paint and color. So it looks like that portion of the map is now in color and like a splotch of paint.
Oh, shit, that's
It looks
awesome.
incredible. Like,
That's
so
cool.
stoked for this game. So that's
When is it coming out?
2nd of
far, is it?
October.
Yeah, it's actually really soon.
It's very soon. Yeah, I'm
Damn.
super, super keen. They showed off Hitman 3 again and announced that Hitman's going to have PSVR support, which looks ridiculous. Not only Hitman 3, they say PSVR support is coming to the entire trilogy. I really kind of need to see how this works.
That's quite cool, yeah.
Because this could be both silly and haunting at the same time.
Are you ready to punch the air, aka people in your game?
I'm
in your living
ready
room?
to strangle people in my living room. Like someone walks into your room and I'm just like, just like, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
This game's so lifelike. You wake up like your parents on the floor, like, oh shit.
Oh my god, dear God. So yeah, that's Hitman 3 is coming out in January. Braid is getting an anniversary edition on PlayStation and Xbox.
That is on Xbox as well. That's
not
so weird because
expected.
Braid was it was PC and Xbox, right?
Yeah, but I think it launched first on Xbox
on
Live Arcade.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game's like highly associated with Xbox.
Yeah.
So to have it on PlayStation's like, what? That's so weird.
It's I mean, it looks prettier. It's still the same Braid. It's got like developer commentary if you want to hear Jonathan Blow talk about himself. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like Jonathan Blow.
Also, my game.
Splunky 2 got a release date.
my.
So it's got like an extended gameplay trailer, which kind of Derek Yu, the designer, basically spoke about how he wants to keep the sense of like wonder and secrets to the game, but also make it slightly more accessible to players. So to me, it still looks as hard as ever. Like Splunky's really difficult. But it looks like I'll be able to, at least me in my limited skill set, will be able to play it a bit more this time. It looks really good. It's also out on September 15th on PS4 only at first. It will come to other platforms afterwards. So yeah, looks good. One of the coolest things, Control's expansion, the AWE or AWE expansion, you know?
AWE, Alan Wake expansion.
Yeah, it's the Altered World event or Alan Wake expansion, whatever the hell you want to believe. But Alan Wake was in the trailer, so
I have not watched the trailer yet.
fucking go. I'm in there. It's out on August 27th.
Oh my god.
And I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Yeah, I loved Control, so any excuse to go back to that world is a good time.
Exactly.
Wow.
Some quick ones. Vader Immortal got a gameplay trailer on PSVR. I don't think that game's really good, despite it being Star Wars. Aeon Must Die was this really striking looking... It looked like a fighting game. I can't really tell, but it looked beautiful. But since then, there's been some drama with this game. Like,
I know.
as soon as the trailer came out, the developers of the game say they actually all quit the studio because of poor working conditions and crunch and all of that, and that the publishers stole the IP and outsourced the trailer. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, there's some fucking drama happening. It's, yeah.
Well, okay then.
There was a new multiplayer game coming, revealed for PlayStation 5, PS4, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One and PC, called Hood: Outlaws and Legends, which kind of looks like
In the hood.
Assassin's Creed but multiplayer mode, or For Honor
Ooh.
with Assassin's Creed but multiplayer mode. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Puzzle game The Pedestrian coming to PS4 in January. That game looks really cool. Bugsnax got a gameplay trailer. Makes it look like a super weird first person bug snacky thing.
Snack game.
Snack game. It's coming out this year. So that's cool.
Right.
Oh, The Pathless, from the creators of Abzu, also well, made by Giant Squid Studios, was founded by the art director on Journey.
Yes.
Pathless looks
Their new game.
awesome. It's like
I've not seen any of this.
you like this archer with this eagle friend, and it's all about keeping momentum and shooting arrows really fast. And go watch their gameplay walkthrough. It looks really, really fucking good.
I will.
So it's coming to PS5 later this year.
Nice.
Genshin Impact looks like what if Breath of the Wild but anime?
Breath of the Wild is anime. What are you talking about?
How dare you?
How dare
I dare you besmirch the good name of Breath of the Wild like this.
Breath of the Wild 2, please launch. Thank you.
Do you remember playing manual chess?
Yes.
Well, now you got auto chess coming to PS4. Hey, got him.
Oh, wow. Walked right into that one.
Auto chess from the creators of the original mod, apparently, is coming to PS4.
This is a Dota 2 one, right?
No. Well, the original one started as a Dota 2 mod, but then the creators of it made like a studio and made auto chess. Like it's just called auto chess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
It's
so
confusing.
many. It's
There's
so
so many.
confusing.
It's
Yeah.
very confusing.
Yeah.
Temtem, the Pokemon styled
Yes.
MMO, is coming to PS5 in 2021. Also
Pokemans.
Xbox,
Nice.
as far as I can tell. That game looks super cool.
Damn.
Temtem is rad.
Temtem. Pokemans.
And then the
Temtem.
stream ended with like this super long look at Godfall, which is like they describe it as a melee focused loot action game.
Mm-hmm.
This game, to me, is the epitome of like a launch title. It looks okay. The art direction I think is a bit uninspired. It just looks like What If Future but medieval. You know what I mean? But it's
steampunk.
it's just like it's really pretty and whatever. But the gameplay looks so boring. They spent like 10 minutes talking about this game, but like to a degree that was so unnecessary. They were like, you get a 4-hit four-hit light attack combo, or you can finish it off with a heavy attack. It's like, cool.
Oh, thanks,
You've
man.
described
Nice.
every third-person melee game fucking ever in existence. Thank you.
What?
And it's like, if
Isn't
you
an
press
enemy
this
attack
button, you've got
incoming?
a special
You can
attack. It's like, oh,
dodge.
for fuck's sake. You're just like, come on, man. It
I'm
was,
going to be so mad.
it was like so necessarily, it was dumb. I think
Wow.
the game looks fine. Like it just looks boring. That's the worst I can say about it. Just like, I'm looking at this really polished, really pretty looking thing that looks as shallow as a puddle, in my opinion. So,
Wow. The blows just keep coming.
Yeah, I mean, this is my 4-hit combo of critique.
Wow. You can finish it with a heavy attack.
Yeah, the heavy attack is that this game's coming out on PS5 next year and I don't want to play it.
No.
Oh, it's coming out this year.
Nice.
God, never mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it a launch title?
PC and PS5. Yeah, whatever.
Interesting.
I don't know. That was the
So
state of play.
That's PlayStation State of Play. Nice,
was
nice.
cool.
It's quite
It was cool.
quite a roundup.
It was actually really good. Like, I think for Sony set their
A little
expectations.
impromptu,
And even
yeah.
then, I felt
Although
like there was
people
some good
still
stuff.
I bet you people are still like, oh no, but why didn't they show this?
Oh, of course.
Where's my
There was at least
PS5
one
price?
person going there in chat going like, where's Smash Bros?
Why? Why would you say that? What is it? The PlayStation one called? Not Smash Bros.
Battle...
God,
Fuck.
it's gone from me.
Yeah, it's also gone
That
for me.
one. So they need to
Something
reboot
Battle
it now.
Royale, All Stars,
That-
something.
Sony PlayStation All Stars. or something.
PlayStation
I
All
don't know.
Stars, there we go.
Was it PlayStation
yeah,
All Stars?
Yeah,
I mean, maybe it's time to revisit that game, give it an overhaul,
yeah. No,
and give it
that
some
game,
PS4
that game was
love. I
bad.
mean, they've got a lot of extra characters they can now put into that game.
Let's
Throw in
say
some Aloy.
we
throw in
did
some
and
Jin,
don't.
and don't. Okay, cool. In other news,
In other
Rocksteady
news.
confirms that it is making a Suicide Squad game, thus confirming many rumors.
Yeah, many rumors.
Many rumors that there was a Suicide Squad game happening.
I'm just so
Um,
tired of this game already because it's like it's already being pitched as like a games as a service thing. I'm just like, ugh.
Oh, so is it Avengers, but the DC Avengers?
Yeah, I'm just like, ugh, okay, fine.
Well, the image they put out, that's Superman, right?
Yeah, the premise that they've spoken about very briefly is that you are the Suicide Squad and you are hunting down the Justice League.
Oh, okay. Why are we hunting down the Justice League?
Don't know. Maybe Superman's on that bad kryptonite and is tearing shit up again, like in Injustice.
Damn you, Superman! Can you just not remain good?
Yeah, how dare you?
Everyone's
How dare you not
sake.
remain
Jeez,
just? The
you.
S on his chest is for scumbag.
Sony.
Oh, Sony. Good lord. Superman is not exclusive to Sony. No.
Games coming to PS5 only.
Oh my god. So yeah, that's going to be revealed more apparently at this DC fandom stream thing happening on August 22nd.
Is it fandom or fandom?
You're right. It is fandom.
Fandomy.
Like the Coca-Cola Dome,
right.
but for fans.
It's
a
what other news you got?
Just on the Justice League stuff, Jason Schreier basically said that Ubisoft Montreal, who made Batman Arkham Origins, were originally working on a Suicide Squad game, which explains why Arkham Origins ends with the T's for Suicide Squad. But that game was cancelled, and Rocksteady only started on theirs in like end of 2017. And he said that this game's not out for a while. So,
okay,
rip.
Interesting.
Rip your dreams of playing this year.
But in other news,
what else you got?
Pikmin 3 coming to Nintendo Switch.
Pikmin 3 Deluxe coming to Switch.
Which is a little game that I've wanted to play, but obviously having never owned some of the platforms it's been out on, just never got around to play it. So, wait, Pikmin 3, was that on Wii U?
Yeah, Wii U, yeah.
Yeah, see, never owned the Wii U, never got to play it.
I've also never played it. It looks, did you ever play Overlord?
I did not, but I know it does look like it's got some.
It's like
some
minions
vibes.
that you control. Each are color coded, so I assume each of them has different abilities.
Yeah,
looks kind of cool.
I love the look of this game. It's like, it's weird because it's almost this hyper realistic looking thing, but it isn't. It's like, yeah, that looks cool.
I really like that. For some reason, I just like the main character's name. Olimar. I think it's very. Yeah, it's got
cool
a
name.
very good mouthfeel when you say it. Olimar.
Olimar. It sounds very French.
Yeah.
Olimar. Welcome. My name is Olimar.
I like that Nintendo keeps dipping into the well of Wii U games purely because I never got to play them. You know.
Listen.
So speaks to me.
Forget Wii U. Throw it out the window. Let's just go back to the Wii and let's port Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. And then we can all call it a day.
I'm there with you, man. I want it.
Yes.
I want it in my veins.
I need it.
What else was there? So Fall Guys came out on Tuesday. Dr. Disrespect is streaming again on YouTube.
That was interesting because I know people who are big fans of Dr. Disrespect, and I'll say I enjoy watching some of his YouTube videos because I think they're quite funny. This dude's made a comeback, and it's actually quite wild. So what he did is on Thursday, he just kicked off his stream on YouTube. So just context, Dr. Disrespect was on Twitch, signed with them, everything, disappeared for 5-6 weeks. Like Twitch cancelled him, and we still don't know why. Like there's some legal reason, clearly. But he disappeared, and he's now resurfaced on YouTube after a good few weeks. So he started off his stream on Thursday evening, and it was literally just a visual of his Lamborghini parked at a garage.
Wow.
And just that visual alone had 350,000 people watching when it started. And let me tell you, the subs and the donations being thrown it's outrageous. He made so much money.
Losing faith in humanity.
So yesterday, I think I could be wrong, but I think he left that stream on for the whole day. Then yesterday, Friday, he actually came on and he had 500,000 people watching him. 500,000 people live on YouTube. So let's just bounce to Twitch quickly. Okay, let's look at the categories.
I mean, that's like the total number of people watching Fall Guys across all of Twitch.
Yeah, no. Well, here's the thing. Okay, maybe at the time, but now on Twitch, the highest category is just chatting with 141,000 people.
Oh wow! So he was 5 times larger than that.
Yeah, followed closely by League of Legends, 140,000 people. Fall Guys 130,000,
That's wild.
and then Fortnite 75,000. So he had more people watching him alone. Well, he was higher than the top 4 categories on Twitch, which is just like, it's insane.
I'm just confused at the mentality. Like, okay, so someone's streaming their Lamborghini, and your first thought is, let me donate more money to this person.
Oh no! So it's not an actual Lamborghini. It's just a visual. It isn't actually own a Lamborghini.
Are you sure?
Sorry,
Though?
should have been
I'm pretty
clever.
sure he owns.
I mean, he might. He's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
But look, I think it's interesting how every time he does something like outlandish or there's controversy, he comes back and his audience just grows. Like it's insane. I mean, sorry, 500,000 people watching live.
It's huge. No, it's
insane.
Yeah, it's madness.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Curious to see how that story evolves, though, because I kind of want to know why.
Yeah,
he was booted.
I think I could be wrong, but I think yesterday he also announced that he's launching his own production company. If I'm not mistaken, which kind of makes sense because he does do a lot of stuff like that for himself anyway. Like he's got like several tracks and several music videos.
Music videos.
Well, it's when I say music video, it's just like his look is he's got this sort of CGI world, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I'll have to link you to some stuff. You'll see. It'll make sense.
I kind of want to see a Dr. Disrespect music video. You've got it in my head now.
You.
Just like him doing like Gangnam
It's
Style
good.
or something.
Oh, no, it's not like that,
Damn
but you'll
it.
see.
Damn it!
Gangnam Style.
Other news. Microsoft xCloud stuff. So Microsoft's fighting with Apple at the moment, just like most people. So, okay, so xCloud is coming out next month, and the announcement only mentions Android phones. And then the day after that, the xCloud test that was happening on iOS, it was a very limited test, prematurely ended. And basically Microsoft is saying that they don't foresee a way forward with xCloud on Apple devices purely because of Apple's restrictive policies around this. So Apple's store does not allow apps that essentially do remote connections to remote devices. So it will allow something like Steam Link, which connects to a local device of yours, like your PC. And even that took Valve a year to get around Apple's policies to even allow for that. So that's why you won't find a Stadia app on iOS, and you likely won't find xCloud on iOS because Apple just does not allow those apps to exist on its platform. Equally, they do not allow apps that have their own marketplaces, which is kind of why Steam Link got killed in the first place, because Apple can't take a cut of those purchases. So... Listen, it's not looking good for xCloud. Like, everyone's like, oh, Microsoft's angry at them, Apple will have to buckle. Like, no, they really do not. There was a great tweet by, who was it yesterday? Someone on Twitter, I can't remember, but they were basically like, Apple essentially has the power to decide which streaming platform exists, strives now. Because if they strike a deal with Google or they strike a deal with Microsoft and allow one or the other's app on their platform, that one's going to win. Or they just stonewall them for entirety until Apple launches their own service. It's like, this is why Apple is at the center of these antitrust and anti-competitive hearings in the States right now, because this is some fucking bullshit. Like,
it's ridiculous.
It's really ridiculous. But at the end of the day, there's not much Microsoft can do to stop them. xCloud is launching next month for Android devices. It will come to PC as well, being able to stream via your PC. If you've got an iPhone or an iPad and you wanted to remotely play your Xbox games, you are shit out of luck.
You can stream. I didn't even think about that you can just use xCloud to your PC. So
you can,
obviously
you'll be able to...
no, that makes sense. Sorry, I'm being silly. Yeah, obviously like your laptop or...
Well, you'll be able
whatever.
to xCloud to an Xbox as well. That's like the whole idea behind that Lockhart console that is rumored. So, yeah, just not on iOS.
I think in terms, okay, so the iOS thing, like whatever, throw it out the window. I don't know what the hell's up with
I don't want to
Apple.
throw my
Apple's
phone out
just-
the window.
throw that news out the window because
Okay,
goddamn,
cool.
xCloud on Apple, like, I'm sad because I've got an iPhone. But the reality is, like, like as cool as I think xCloud is, I think it's a phenomenal idea. I don't know if I would use it personally. Not in a South African context, at least, because if I'm out in public, do you really think I'm going to stream a game to my phone?
No, fair.
With
fair.
the cost of data. But I mean, even on that, I've got a PC with Game Pass, so like it's not a product for me. However, I do think it's a really cool product regardless.
I'd like to play games in bed. That would be fun.
Yeah, look, if you put it like that, it's like, let's see, this is another thing. Is it coming to Switch? Apparently not.
Nope.
I think Phil
Phil
Spencer
Spencer
said,
ruled that
nope,
out, yeah.
not coming to Switch, but it would have been cool if I could climb into bed and just hotwire to my Wi-Fi and play xCloud.
Well, I mean, Microsoft is launching essentially the same as what Sony has with Remote Play for the Xbox as well, where you can turn your Xbox into like a pseudo xCloud server. So you will be able to do that. And that's probably, I mean, xCloud is launching next month, but South Africa is not part of the supported regions for obvious reasons. So
Yeah.
whatever.
We'll
It
see.
makes me sad. It just, makes me sad. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think that's all of the news.
Is that all of the news? I don't think I had anything else. Oh, wait, did we talk about the PlayStation 5 controller being, the PS4 controller? No? Yeah, PS4 controllers being compatible with...
Oh, we didn't, So
PS4 controllers will work on PS5, but only with
PS4 games.
PS4 games made for the PS5, which is a very, 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 very weirdly specific thing.
I don't mind it so much. I don't really think it's a bad thing when you consider it's like how all consoles have operated. But I think Microsoft just changed the game a little bit by saying, hey, all of your Xbox One peripherals will work on Series X. No problems. So they kind of put this idea in everyone's head like this should be the new norm.
That's how it should be, yeah.
And I tend to agree, especially when you look at Sony's reasoning. Like the DualSense is a new controller, but its button layouts haven't changed.
No.
The only things are its additional features like the haptics or the tension in like the triggers and the rumble and whatever. And they are of the opinion that all PS5 games are going to use this, not just exclusives, just all PS5s. And that's why the PS4 controller cannot function for PS5 games. And I'm just like, dudes, I bought the
That's
Vita.
weird.
You know, I bought the Vita. I bought the PS4. Those touchpads did fuck all outside of exclusives. Don't come here and tell me that third parties are going to develop exclusively for this controller. That's not going to happen.
That's my thing. I'm like, surely, like, I understand PS5 games, okay, you need to have the DualSense, whatever. But surely if I want to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla on my PS5, I should be able to use my PS4 controller.
Yeah, that's
do you really
my
think
opinion.
Ubisoft's going to hard code some specific DualSense feature? Like, maybe, but I doubt it.
This is where it becomes tricky now, because Valhalla is a cross-gen game. So
Oh, yeah.
it is a PS4 game, but it's also a PS5 one. So can I only use my PS4 controller if I buy the game on PS4 and get the free upgrade to PS5? If I buy it directly on PS5, do I only get to use the DualSense controller? It's very confusing.
man.
I don't understand
It is very
how
confusing.
it works in that context. Like if I upgrade, will I have to change my controller? Which, obviously, if you bought a PS5, you have a DualSense, but still, it's very, and it's even more confusing when you consider they're only putting this restriction on for the DualShock 4. The Move controllers, the PlayStation camera, peripherals like steering wheels and fight sticks that are all working on PS4 will work flawlessly on PS5. So
I don't know. So many questions,
you
so
doing,
little
Sony?
time.
Especially when there are rumors that this DualSense is going to be a more expensive controller because of all the extra shit that's in there. It's just like, I can see what you're doing, and I don't like it. Don't like it.
Don't like it, Sony. Why you like this?
Okay,
Okay, but now that is news.
that's news. Yeah. Questions. If you want to send us
Hooray.
questions, you can email us checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can message us on all the social platforms, Instagram @checkpointchat, Twitter @checkpointchat, TikTok before Trump bans it
@checkpointchat.
Yeah.
Well, you see, Instagram has Reels now,
Oh.
which is basically TikTok for Instagram. So
Message us on Instagram, TikTok @checkpointchat.
on Insta TikTok.
TikTok.
We received an email earlier this week from Malesh.
Oh, we did.
He
We
says-
received 2 earlier this week. Milish and I think Bester
and
Bash.
Keegan.
Sorry, I derailed you
Malesh you doxed him. Now everyone knows who he is. I'm joking. So Malesh is, hey guys, the last few single player games I've played seem to have a common theme. So he played Horizon Zero Dawn, The Last of Us 2, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, and A Plague Tale. I think it's time to change it up, and those other side trailers and reviews got me wanting to give a tactics game a go next.
Ooh.
XCOM, yes, the 2012 game. I never finished the campaign. Don't worry, neither did I. Gears Tactics, Mutant Year Zero. Which would you play first?
Those are all such good choices.
Well, knowing Malesh, I think he's got Game Pass. I think, because he's an Xbox gamer, right? I think that's the
I can't
general
recall.
feeling I've got. I could be completely wrong.
I
Maybe
can't
I'm
recall.
on drugs here. But I know Gears Tactics is on.
Gears Tactics is really good. All
And
those
it's on
games are
Game
also
Pass.
very XCOM-like. So, like,
Yeah.
I would suggest going back and playing the original XCOM just because that game is super good. Same with XCOM 2, I think is super good. Gears Tactics, what was the other one?
Mutant Year Zero.
Yeah, Mutant Year Zero is like XCOM but with stealth. It's really, really interesting. And it's got, Mutant Year Zero like evolves the XCOM formula in some really, really clever ways. And I think it's very different with its, like humanoid animal characters, like Daffy Duck lookalike with a shotgun. Very cool. The other game I'd add to that list is Into the Breach, which is made by the developer designers of FTL. It's basically like Pacific Rim chess. All your battles take place on this, I think it's 8x8 board. And it is turn-based, but it's sort of like turn-based where you can see the order of moves. So you like, this unit of mine is going to go first, then that enemy is going to move, then this enemy is going to move, then my unit, and all the enemy moves are laid out. So I know exactly what move each enemy is going to make on its turn. But it's about positioning my characters in a way that when the enemies take their turn, they are not doing damage to any of my units and not doing damage to any of the buildings I need to protect. So you can.
This is Into the Breach, right?
Yeah.
So I missed the
Into the Breach, yeah.
Okay.
So you can do amazing things where you're like, okay, this enemy is going to attack in this direction and going to take up these 2 blocks. If I knock this enemy here, then these 2 enemies will end up attacking each other on their turn. Like, it's super, super tactical. Well, it's not like overbearingly tactical, but it feels so good. Like, it's this like real-time strategy puzzle, and I really, really like it. So
Nice.
Into the Breach would recommend as well.
Would recommend. Okay, next question from Keegan, who says, I picked up Formula 1 2020 about 2 to 3 weeks ago. I know it was mentioned back before Checkpoint Chat's Dalmatian phase, but I must say that it is really a great game. So for my actual question, in previous installments of the game, Formula 1 2019, what settings did you find most enjoyable and challenging? Settings include assist and overall AI difficulty. I've been using easy, and it's made the game a little too much like I'm the protagonist and everyone needs to lose to me, so I'm restarting my team career with harder AI settings, and as I play I'll try and lose more of the driving assists.
Yeah, 100%. That's how I started. Like, if you're playing the My Career, usually on the My Career you start with like a lower tier team. So like McLaren's doing really well this year, but last year they weren't. So I started with McLaren, and like the AI was so easy that I was winning races, and that should not be possible. Like a Ferrari and a Mercedes should be pummeling like a McLaren. So yeah, definitely tune the AI difficulty up as much as you can. I also think if you can afford to, I think taking away the rewinds. Like if you mess up, usually in a racing game, you hit a rewind and you take that away because it adds a sense of tension to the racing where you are having to be protective over your car. You're not taking as many risks as possible because you can just rewind them. And that will make for a more authentic Formula One experience, I think. As for driver assists, I don't turn off settings I don't understand. Like ABS brakes, I don't turn off because I don't understand how cars work without them. And traction control, I also don't understand how that works. But I try to reduce the assistive racing line as much as I can. I turn off all assistive braking and steering. I turn off automatic energy deployment and DRS deployment, stuff like that. Stuff that is like I find simple to like kind of do, but traction control is a fucking nightmare. I don't understand that shit at all. So
you just fly off the track, man.
Yeah, but scale that AI as high as you can to where like you're kind of being pushed. You feel like you're being challenged to finish where your team is realistically expected to finish. You know what I mean? If you're winning races as a Williams driver, your AI is way too easy.
Goddamn. Hello, Luna.
What's up, Luna?
I've got her blanket on. She's like, oh, I'm gonna come nap. Okay, we have a bunch of questions from Meg. So question 1, he says, how is secluded life treating you guys? Nothing much has changed on the outside. It's just a bit more profitable for me so far.
Same.
Yeah.
Not having to spend money on petrol is real fun.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can I just say I'm not spending about $1,000, $1,500 in petrol every month.
Feels good, right?
It's been real nice.
Feels so good.
Not only that, like at the office, we often would go get food or just like some quick takeout. Not doing that anymore. So saving a few $100 on that.
That first month of lockdown as well, because where we couldn't get takeaways, man, I saved so much cash.
Yeah, it's a good time. But otherwise, secluded life, I'm enjoying it. Like obviously, I do miss seeing people going out, but as someone who likes to like just chill and play games, like it's really been nice for me.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I like working from home. I don't mind it at all. I think it's because I've been commuting for so many years in my life that not commuting just feels fantastic.
Likewise. I mean, as part of the secluded life is the fact that you have more time in a day.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I have at least an hour extra every day, if not more. I actually think more because I don't have to actually get ready to go to work.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't have to put on actual clothes.
Sweatpants.
It's like an extra hour and a half every day that I just have back times 5 days a week, which is quite big.
Yeah, it's significant. It's almost like you're clawing back a full work day every week, which is
in me time.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like I don't mind it at all. I think it's great, and I think for you as well, it feels good because you're living at home with Lenska, so there's not
I'm
really
working next to Lenska, which is cool.
Yeah. How does she feel? Is she irritated by you yet?
Her and her parents go through phases where it's like
they want to kill you.
I miss doing this stuff. yeah. No, like I think everyone has it where there's a bit of restlessness. Like, oh my God, where's the end of this? You know, like at what point do we go back to normal life?
The uncertainty.
Yeah. But they're fine otherwise.
And also, like days like today, you can't escape chores by just going to watch a movie. I do miss the movies a lot.
I mean, you could go watch movies if you wanted to.
Fuck that. Not a chance.
Okay, next question. During this pandemic, I got 3 clients asking me to transfer the video 8 and VHS memories to digital.
What?
What would your reaction be knowing that either a stranger or someone you barely know has access to a recorded past with you in it? Perhaps a past you simply don't even remember, such as when you were 2 years old, etc.
Okay. He's talking about converting like home videos.
Home
into
videos.
Digital. Yeah, I guess giving all that over to another human is weird, but I don't think they're watching all that footage. Like they're popping it into a program and walking away from the PC.
I mean, at the very worst, you might get someone going like, "Oh, what is this? Oh, it's a family video." But I don't think they're actively watching like from beginning to end, whatever. But I mean, I kind of get that. Even I always found it weird that the idea of developing film Because back in the day, you'd snap a roll of film, you'd hand it into a photo store, and they would print it for you.
And it would take days, which is crazy to think about now.
They would see everything you took photo of, which is like, if you're an evil person, you could use it for nefarious reasons.
That's why all serial killers have their own red room, because they're developing their own
They do their own. Yeah.
I actually would love to, like, I've never done that before, but it seems like a cool process, like developing your own photos. Just like putting it in that chemical stuff and waiting for it to like.
They always make it look super cool movies.
That's true.
Like, you go to a dark room, you print your stuff. They always have that weird liquid, and then the film develops. Like, oh my god, what sorcery is this?
Exactly. I wonder if in real life it's just like, fuck, this is so tedious.
I don't know. Maybe. Okay. Next question. What is the purpose of mechanical keyboards, especially when they have color names such as brown, cherry, etc.? I don't know. Mechanical keyboards, they just feel good to use.
Yeah,
that's the extent of it. They give you tactile feedback, I suppose.
They're more reliable as well, because dome keyboards all work on a single circuit board. So they're basically, a dome keyboard is basically like a small electrical contact that's touching another contact on the circuit board and then registering a click. If those contacts wear thin, like, that key's fucked. And if the board dies, the board's dead. Mechanical keys, each key is an individual mechanical switch. So there's an actual actuation to each key press, and the different colors are just the different feels of each key. So reds are linear switches, so there's no actual click. They're very fast, and the switch resets about halfway up. Like when the key's coming back up, it resets like halfway, so it's really good for gaming. Browns are like, they've got a little bump. Blues are very clicky. They all have varied degrees of actuation force and feel, and it's just preference at that point. I find mechanical keyboards super, super satisfying to type on. Again, depending on the switch that you choose. But they're reliable. I think they're just super reliable.
But once you go mechanical, you never go back.
Yeah, I can't go back. Like,
there's just something about it. Like, throw the fact that they're reliable out the window. Just the fact that they feel good to use, and they sound awesome. Yeah. I love the sound of mechanical keyboards.
Same.
When I'm typing up a storm, I'm like, I'm a hacker from a movie.
It honestly just sounds like that. It makes me sad that they're not allowed in workplaces, which, like, I understand. They're fucking loud.
Are they not?
No.
Oh my god. Mechanical keyboard or not, we had a lady who worked at the office. She left about a year ago. She was notorious for being loud on her laptop.
Loud typing.
No mechanical keyboard, just hard, angry typing. You're like, holy shit, that laptop.
I'm exactly the same. I use just a normal, like, dome keyboard at work, and I make noise on that thing. So
a mechanical keyboard is not allowed at the office. That is so fun. You're like, I get that, but why?
Like, it's like an etiquette thing. It's like no one even attempts to bring it.
Put on your headphones and ignore my mechanical keyboard.
I wish, man. I fucking wish. It would be the dream. But Razer's new ones are really cool because what are they called? Optomechanical? So they've got linear and clicky variants, but they don't use, they still use a mechanical switch, but they use light. So there's a beam of light that goes across, and when that breaks, then it registers the key press. So it's apparently a lot faster.
I think John Michael has one of those keyboards.
Yeah, the Huntsman all use optomechanical. They just revealed a new version, a 60% version, which I really want, but money.
Nice. But money. Next question. Oh, is this a question? Oh, that is a question. So Mick says, thank you guys for recommending Franco's. I bought 2 pizzas and a calzone on Wednesday.
Calzone.
The pizzas passed my personal test, which is the following. The place can make a good Regina pizza. The pizza tastes great when it's warm, and it tastes great when it's cold.
That's a good test, I think.
Since it passed through all with flying colors, it's now my number 1 favorite functional pizza restaurant list. Previously, that spot was held by Pizza Hut.
Wow, that's a real jump up in quality, in my opinion.
I must say, I think I've tried Pizza Hut once or twice.
It's not great.
I don't think I've been blown away.
No. I don't think there's any good fast food pizza in this country, to be honest. Like, I stand firmly on that.
I'll come out and say I have a soft spot for debonair. But
get the fuck out of here.
Before you throw me out the window, I have not had debonair for years. And the reason I have such a soft spot for it was because I had one over the road from my house for a long time.
You were in love with convenience, not the pizza.
It was such a guilty pleasure. No, look, I've thought about this, and I think the reality is that I just like pizza. Like,
yeah, that's true. I haven't met
just,
someone who's as big a pizza fan as you.
God, I love it so much.
I really want Franco's again. I've only been there once when I went with you. I don't even remember what I had. I had a pizza, but I can't remember if I had a calzone or... I don't know.
I've actually never tried their calzone.
Calzone's so good.
About it. They also the Franco's. They also do. There's like, I don't know what it's called, but there's a pasta they do where they're like, it's pasta baked with cheese, and you can either have like sausage or chorizo.
Oh my goodness!
And it is so.
That sounds lovely.
Good. Like I honestly have to debate with myself like
a chorizo lasagna almost.
Oh, yeah, and it's divine. I don't know what it's called though.
That's my test for a pasta place is like lasagnas should never be on a restaurant menu if the lasagna takes half an hour to cook, because that's not a real lasagna. But there are ways to get around that. And Franco's, because Shani got a lasagna when we were there. That lasagna was fucking great. Oh my God.
I've never tried the lasagna.
Super good.
I should explore that whole menu because
it's quite a big menu.
I just stick to the same pizza.
The tiramisu was phenomenal as well.
Ooh, it's a good time.
Yeah, real good.
Good time. Okay.
We should get them to sponsor us.
Oh, please, Franco's, give us sponsor me. I'm down the road.
Just give us free pizza. I'll be happy.
I'll give it to me. I won't give it to Sandy.
Wow, rude.
Will you guys be getting Android phones or tablets to take advantage of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate xCloud? Nope.
Listen,
I basically answered
I love
that.
xCloud, but it's super not enough to make me switch to Android. Not a fucking chance.
No, and yeah, like I said, xCloud doesn't really work in a South African context.
Well, not yet.
To be that guy.
Not yet.
But not only that. Like just in terms of the data prices and stuff. Like,
when you're looking at that,
yeah, like how would we ever afford that?
But there's so much free Wi-Fi everywhere. Imagine you go on holiday and then you can just take your phone.
Yeah, like that makes sense. But then I'd rather just take my Switch. But you know what? xCloud has made me think what Switch did for mobile gaming, of how it made AAA Nintendo titles and indies accessible anywhere. Imagine that, but with like the high quality AAA Xbox titles or just games in general.
Exactly.
Like that is mind blowing. Like
I could play Halo on the toilet.
Oh my God! You can shoot people while you
Master Chief. While I Master. Wow. Okay, you went there.
I went there. Yeah, Alessandro, who has the better afro? Is it Matthew Clockwork Yellow Figueroa or Patrick Waypoint Fanfare Klipek? It's fine. I won't take it personally if you say it's not
What's
me.
really funny is how similar you both are. Like,
oh my God,
you both have afros. You both love Mario Maker. You both involved in games. You both married. He has a child. You don't have. Well, you have 2 cats. So I guess that's like 2 half children.
I have children.
Yeah.
Make it 1 child.
Yeah, I don't know. Your afro is great because I get to see it every week.
Oh no, and it's little now.
Well, I don't know if I'd go so far as little. It's smaller than it was, but it was uncontrollable at one point. You were in cousin it territory.
It was awful. Actually, I let it get on for far too long. Okay, last question from Megs. He says, would Fallout Guys be better as a free-to-play game with extras to
Fallout
buy,
Guys?
Or its current form? Fall Guy, not Fallout Guys. I'm sure that's what he's
Fallout
talking about.
Boy, hey.
Would it be better as a free-to-play game or in its current form where you need to pay for everything? I mean, in its current form, you pay free on PS Plus.
But you can still purchase it outright. Yeah, I think it's like $20.
It's okay. So maybe we're lucky in SA where it's only 130 rand. But I mean, even $20 is not an expensive thing.
Yeah,
really.
no, I think considering that you don't pay for the battle pass, and that you earn, I think, a decent amount of in-game currency to unlock cosmetics, I would rather that than, like the Fortnite model, to be honest.
And I think it's worth the money.
Yeah.
Like I've played like 3 hours. Even that, I'm like, sure, Probably more, maybe like 4 hours. And even then, I'm like, I could leave the game now, and I feel like I've got my money's worth. But I will be going back to the game.
And they're bringing out. Well, I assume they're bringing out new modes for free, because it would make no sense to make you pay for that, because that will just fracture their player base. Like any multiplayer game that brings out maps that you need to pay for, it's a problem. So yeah, I think it's a game that will keep on giving.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all we have on email. Thank you for all those questions. We have some quick fire questions on Instagram from Cello ZA.
Oh, of course.
So
what would you rather is it this week?
So question 1, why does Sandy play Fall Guys on PS4? Is he scared of losing us again like he does in Trackmania?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, tell us.
Wow.
Are you scared?
It was free. I have PS Plus. God damn it.
I would recommend, if you do find yourself playing the game, try pick it up on PC, because it is like it's weird how it's a much better experience.
Is Cello won a Fall Guys match?
Not yet.
Yeah, eat shit.
Wow. You haven't even won a Fall Guys.
Shut up. That's not the point.
Okay, next question. Best ingredients on an omelette.
Ooh. I haven't had an omelette in a while, actually.
I also haven't had. Omelette's one of those things you can just throw like everything in, and it's just delicious.
Man, I really like peppers, like green peppers or red peppers, something with some good cheese. It's always good. Yeah.
Cheese is a must.
Mushrooms are good, but they make it very, like, when mushrooms cook, it makes it so watery, and it's like,
watery. And the thing is, like, as much as I love mushrooms, they tend to dominate whatever you're eating.
Yeah, I agree.
So, like, you could put a little bit maybe, but I'm with you. And just cheese, peppers. I mean, you could throw in a little bit of bacon if you want as well.
If you eat meat,
But yeah, if you eat meat, yeah.
Chorizo, when I used to eat chorizo.
Chorizo.
I mean, chorizo just in fucking everything. It's great.
It's good.
Sausage of champions.
Next. The sausage. Let's put on a podium.
That is totally the podcast title now. Good luck finding a...
No, why you do this to me? Next question. What would you put in a man cave?
Bats.
So, I mean...
Turn it into a bat cave.
You turn it into Batman, actually. Like, welcome to my bat cave.
Yeah, welcome to my bat cave.
I'm Batman. Cave.
I don't know. I feel like I'm living in a quote-unquote man cave.
Now.
Yeah. Consoles, TV, PC, monitor, and my bed.
I mean, I think your room is really the perfect man cave. Like, you've got your bed. It's there if you ever need to nap,
Got a bathroom.
Between all the gaming.
Got a shower.
It's got a bathroom as well. But you've got your nice big TV. You've got some consoles. You've got your PC. And you've got your whole shelf of collectibles. Like, you're there.
It's true.
Oh, yeah. And you've got a wall with some art in it. So, like, it's there. One thing I would love, I don't care how cliche it is, I'd love to own an arcade machine.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have in it. Probably the easiest thing would be to have one of those that has like a few games built into it. Because otherwise you're gonna have to choose a very specific game you like.
Mortal Kombat.
Although Mortal Kombat's a good one. Although I would 100% have a Time Crisis 2 arcade cabinet.
Yes.
That is like, if I had to choose an arcade cabinet to put in my man cave, 100%.
I would 100%. Yeah.
Pardon the pun. Timeless. Am I right?
Get out of here. If I had to like choose an arcade game, definitely that. That's or like House of the Dead.
Yeah, House of the Dead. Yeah, that's a good one as well.
I wouldn't mind a Pac-Man arcade machine. That'd be pretty
Pac-Man,
cool.
yeah, like if you want to go like El Clasico or Pac-Man.
Or the thing that my dad really wants that I wouldn't mind having either is a pinball machine.
Pinball machine.
They're very expensive, but man, that would be super, super cool to have.
Oh, pinball.
Or a basketball hoop. One of those like arcade machine like
prints out tickets, you go to the other corner of your man cave, you just redeem some stickers.
Yeah, exactly. Get a pencil sharpener and bubble gum.
Yeah, stuff you can't actually use. They show you all these high value items.
Those toys are such garbage.
It's only the most hardcore.
And even the high value items, you look at them, you're like, I could buy that at a shop for 200 Rand.
Yeah. No, people do it, man. Okay, next question. What is the scariest non-horror movie? This is an interesting question.
It is an interesting question.
Scariest non-horror movie. trying to think. Nothing comes to mind. Scariest non-horror movie.
Scariest non-horror movie.
I mean, I can only think of horror movies.
I'm trying to think of movies that like, like walk the line of being like more like a thriller instead of a horror.
Yeah. Why not? Did you? The one movie that comes to mind, maybe you know it. What Lies Beneath? I'm trying to think. That was a thriller, but there's something about it that it was like one or two horror elements. I just can't for the life of me remember the premise.
What
What
Lies Beneath?
What Lies Beneath?
I don't think I've seen that.
Hang on, I'm thinking of the right film here. Yes, with Harrison Ford.
Oh.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so What Lies Beneath is an American supernatural horror thriller film. Damn. Okay, it's horror, I guess.
Fucked up.
About a couple who live in a haunted house. Okay, there's something weird about this movie, though, where it was more of a thriller, but I think it had horror elements. But I remember watching this when I was much young. I was like, damn, that was some hectic stuff. Shit, I can't think of any scary non-horror movies. Oh, if we're talking bad movies, I mean, we could spit some out, I'm sure. That are just horrific to watch.
I thought, I don't know if it was scary, but it made me feel uneasy. There's a movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which is about the guy who walks a tightrope between the Trade Center buildings. What's it called?
Oh no.
Tightrope.
Tightrope movie.
I'm literally Googling that.
And it's going to work.
God, there's a movie called Tightrope, which doesn't help.
Close.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's called The Walk. Yeah.
Oh wow. Who would have seen that one coming?
So yeah, that movie, the way it's shot and stuff, it's very, very. It makes me feel super uneasy because I'm not super big on heights. So I would.
You know what is it?
Yeah.
Another one that comes to mind. Sorry, what is that one movie where it was a mom and her child stuck in a room, like being held?
The Room. Is it called The Room, or is it just called Room?
These are the most literal movie names you go. Like, it's about a dude walking a tightrope. Oh, it's called The Walk. It's about this. It's a movie about this woman in a room with a child. It's called The Room.
It's just called Room with Brie Larson.
Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She won an Academy Award for it.
Yeah, not necessarily a horror, but just the fact that it's a thriller, it made me feel very uneasy.
That movie made me cry on a plane.
Yeah.
I was on a plane with you, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this. You're like, be careful. Yeah. It's sad. And
this explains everything.
Right at the end,
I got off the plane, like, why are your eyes so red?
Fuck.
I was.
Man, but the thing is, it's not the ending that's sad. It's the middle of the movie that's sad. It it fucking hits you, man. That movie's hardcore.
It's a hectic movie.
It's a great movie.
Okay, next question. What brand are you most loyal to? I mean, I've got a few, and I 100% acknowledge it's purely because of brand that I just don't go anywhere else.
Which is that?
Logitech. When it comes to hardware, like, I love Logitech. So I've got a Logitech mouse, I've got a Logitech keyboard, I've got Logitech speakers.
Webcam.
Which webcam as well, Logitech. But my speakers I got for my 18th birthday.
Hot damn.
And they still
That was
work.
like 3 decades ago.
3 decades ago. I hate you. But the only thing I've changed now is I do have a SteelSeries headset, purely because Logitech did have an offering, but I think it was quite expensive for what I wanted. And you recommended the SteelSeries, so I was like, cool, I'm going to go for this. But I suppose that, and even iPhone, I'm quite loyal to iPhone purely because I'm in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I like iPhone. I don't I used Android years ago, and to go back to it now, I'm like, I don't know.
That's I mean, we spent many minutes bitching about Apple this episode, but like, I love my iPhone. I love my Apple Watch.
People.
Yeah, we are those people.
Yeah, we'll say Apple. We
enablers. Yeah,
tweets it from my iPhone.
We enabled Tim Cook to be an asshole. Yeah.
Oh my god! Let me just look up this next question on my iPhone.
But I can't go like iPhone is just a great phone, and the Apple Watch is honestly the best smart. Like, the Apple Watch is like one of the best pieces of tech I've ever bought. It's just so good. I got AirPods, which I think are really good.
Wow, you Apple whore.
I use a MacBook for work. It's not mine, but I have to use it.
All the Apple things. You eat apples every day.
Eat apples every day.
Away.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Apple's
Apple
probably
fanboy.
there. What other brands am I loyal to? Lego. Lego's a brand. I love Lego.
Love Lego.
Lego's
Love Lego.
fantastic. Yeah.
When it, when,
You know what brand
No,
I'm really
go for
loyal
it.
to? That brand,
Mhm.
Checkpoint Chat. Great podcast.
oh, what a brand.
Two great hosts. Amazing. just-
two very handsome,
Just
highly
amazing.
intelligent.
Can only the
let me
only
stretch this.
problem they have, man, they just don't get enough sponsors. It's a real shame.
I mean, those poor dudes, man. They're out here grinding every day. Come on.
Throw them a
sponsor me,
bone. Throw them a
Logitech.
bone. Yeah.
Sponsor us, Apple and Logitech. Thank you.
Yes, those are two high bars to aim for. Eh?
Yeah. Well, we've received the iPhone 12. Apple heard our request.
Fuck,
it
that'd
hasn't
be
even
great.
been revealed yet, but we got it first. Okay, last three questions. We're going to do them
Last
quick
three.
fire.
Oh my god.
Yep. Who's your favorite Spice Girl?
Baby Spice.
I think was she the blonde one?
Yes. I just like her name a lot.
What is her name?
Baby Spice.
Who's the... It's not her actual
No,
name.
but I liked her stage name.
Congratulations, it's a girl. What are you naming her? What are you
Baby.
naming your child?
Well,
Mr. and Mrs. Spice?
well,
We'll call her
you say
Baby.
this, but there was a movie called Baby Driver, and the main character's name was Baby.
Baby, yeah, but still. I think, was it, who's Jerry Halliwell? Which one was she?
Now you're asking me all sorts
I
here.
can't, I liked her.
Jerry
I can't remember her
Halliwell.
name now.
Was
Maybe it was
she?
Jerry.
So
She
what
had a
were all
solo
the Spice
career.
Girls? It was Baby Spice, Posh Spice,
Sporty Spice,
Sporty
Scary
Spice,
Spice,
Scary Spice, and there was a fifth one,
Ginger Spice.
Ginger Spice. Wait, why was one called Scary Spice?
Because she was scary. I guess.
Wow.
I don't know. That's an
That just
they
seems
chose
rude.
their names.
Just seems
They,
rude.
they chose their names. Okay.
Well, Posh
yeah,
Spice
let me-
is Victoria Beckham.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
She
I don't know
she's
the
married
names
to
of all the
David
others.
Beckham.
Oh, hey.
I can't find the names of them. That's weird because you should be able to. Whatever.
Oh,
Okay,
Mel,
next question.
Mel B is one of the Spice Girls as well.
Mel B. Good lord. Was it? I don't know. Whatever. What is the longest rabbit hole you've been down?
Whew. There's been so many.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's probably been a gaming rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I get lost. It's particularly when if I finish a game or I'm new to a franchise, I'll like play a game like, damn, that was cool. Let me go read up all the shit, on it. Or like a good example, I suppose, is Bloodborne.
Yeah, I was
Where
literally
it's
was
like
going to
you
say
play-
the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you play the game, and you're like, okay, there's like I understood the game, like I have my own interpretation of
But
it.
did you?
But did I? Yeah, let me go read up a whole lot of fan theories. Let me
Mm-hmm.
see, and like just falling. John Michael is responsible for leading me down this rabbit hole. There's a dude who does Dark Souls and FromSoft game lore videos. I think it's called like Vati or something.
Yeah. No, exactly. You're talking about.
Is it
Yeah.
Vati? Yeah. And like, it's amazing. He just picks up all the clues and the details, and he like pieces together like the narrative. It's like, oh yes, this person was this person who knew this person, and they did this and this, and this is why there's this arm in the game, for example. And you're like, oh, okay,
Extremely
Like, it's not-
detailed, extremely good.
yeah. And like, I love watching that stuff because it's like, damn, FromSoft weren't just throwing random arm into this game. Like, there's actually a tale behind it, or this area, or this character.
And
so
it's actually quite
enjoy
interesting.
that.
After going down that rabbit hole, when I played Bloodborne again recently, I took the time to read item descriptions because that's where a lot of the stories there. Everyone says it's hidden. It's not. It's just in places that
It's there. You have to read
you're
it,
too
yeah.
lazy to look for. And it's actually when you read. Okay, so maybe I'm saying it sounds straightforward because I understand the context, but like there's a lot that they put in those descriptions that relate to one another. So it's like it's not as ambiguous as I think people make it out to be. But yeah, I've also just like Bloodborne Wikipedia, just like going down like items, random characters, fan theories. Yeah, I'm still down that rabbit hole every now and then. Recently, it's been Halo. I've been catching up on Halo lore. Let me tell you, Halo lore up to Halo 3, pretty straightforward and good. Halo 4 and 5, Jesus
Garbage.
Christ. What the fuck?
Whoa. I don't know Jesus in the game. That's
It
amazing.
basically it's
Whoa.
it goes
name's-
off the rails in some dumb ways. I don't
Shit.
like it at all.
Wow. I'm trying. I don't know. I suppose Metal Gear Solid is a good one. As well.
Holy
Like I've
crap,
done
yeah.
a fair bit of reading on like what happens in each game and what character is, and yeah.
That shit is wild as well. Holy shit.
Yeah. Final question: 1, 2, and 3 of the F1 this weekend. Last week you got 1 out of 3 right. Explain why.
What do you mean explain,
Wait,
why?
Explain why you got 1 out of 3 right, or what your choices are this week.
Well, because firstly, I would have got 2 out of 3, but some bullshit happened on the last lap. So
wow.
yeah. This weekend, my prediction's probably the same. It's gonna be it's gonna be Valtteri, Hamilton, and then Verstappen. It's gonna be the same.
Verstappen. That's it. Verstappen. We'll hear back from Chilla if you're right or wrong. And that is all she wrote. All the questions.
Is that all she wrote?
Chilla's not a lady.
If you want to
Just an
send us
expression.
questions like Cello and Migs and Keegan and Milish, all good
All these
people,
people.
you can email us checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com, or you can message us on any of them social platforms. Checkpoint Chat, except TikTok. Trump's banning it.
He's banning it.
He banned it because we
Instagram.
got too big. We got far too
We
big on
got
TikTok.
too
He had to
popular,
rein in our
man.
power.
He just knew those 2 handsome dudes on Checkpoint Chat were rising to
They
prominence.
were coming at his presidential campaign. He just had to take action. You know, I
Shall
don't
we
blame
run for
him.
president?
I don't blame him.
No. Have you looked at the time?
I don't
From
want
the
to.
episode?
I don't want to look at it. It's too long.
Okay. Because it's 2 hours
No,
long.
no,
And
this might be our longest
had
one
to-
yet.
I had to physically restrain myself from saying we're not going to do a 2-hour episode. I really, it did cross my mind when we got to news. It's like, oh, we've got an hour.
I think
It'll
this
be
is
so
the
quick.
longest one we've ever done, and it just makes no sense to me. I don't know
It
what's
doesn't.
happening
I
anymore.
mean,
We have no semblance of how to
speaking
keep
shit.
time.
We've got to rein ourselves in here.
Yeah.
And speak less shit, more. Whatever.
Speaking of speaking shit, wow, that was a yawn. This has been Checkpoint Chat. We talk about video games. Oh wait, this isn't the beginning. This is the end. Sorry.
This is the end. We spoke about
We
video
spoke
games.
about video games.
This was Checkpoint.
This was Checkpoint Chat. As always, if you're a fan, if you've been listening, give us a like, give us a rating on whatever platform you're listening on, if you can, and share this with your friends. Be cool.
Yeah,
Maybe we will get that
Can I tell you,
sponsorship.
just drop likes everywhere you can. It really helps. If you're on Twitter, drop a like. If you're on Facebook, drop a like.
Subscribe
If you're
on YouTube. Yeah.
subscribe and drop. Don't be shy to drop a like on a video or 2 while you're there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just, especially on YouTube, like there's some weird algorithm that happens there, and I know it's very foreign and nobody actually understands how it works, but I know it correlates to views and likes and whatnot. So it helps, guys.
But as always, this
Sure,
has
that's
been
it.
episode 111, the Nelson of
Dalmatians.
Checkpoint Chat.
The Nelson episode.
What did I say?
Okay.
What did I say the episode title was going to be? Something sausage.
I'm not telling you.
Damn it. Now I have to go listen back to it.
Yeah, now you've got to listen to all 2 hours. like a
Sausage
couple
of Champions.
listeners.
There we go. Done.
Damn it. No, why you do this?
Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.